Hey guys. We just finished up that podcast with myself, Albert, and Riley.
Yes, Riley's gone.
Yeah, he took off quick.
He took off quick.
He was gone.
But yeah, we just wanted to explain real quick what happened. We had some video difficulty.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it, we got most of the show, but it continued on a little bit after. So we'll have the audio for that, but the video kind of is going to be messed up at the end, and it's just going to be a still picture of us. But we just wanted to get on and kind of explain to you what happened and why it's like that.
Yeah. Forewarning.
But it's good. Like we the main stuff's done. It's probably like the last.
I wonder how much.
20 minutes, I think maybe are going to be. This is a long one.
It was like 20, 30 minutes.
As you could tell, it may be like 20, maybe 30 minutes at the end of the show. But there's a good hour and a half or more of the video, and it got to the main stuff. There's some good stuff that you're missing. There's a Coke right there at the end of the table, as you can see, and a Mountain Dew, and it's weird. We did some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah, we got the main stuff.
So just letting you know, when we get to the end, sorry, but enjoy.
Things happen.
Yeah. All right.
So. Well, you know what you could do? You could kind of do like you do like the intro, like whatever you do, and then like you can kind of do like a slow fade into us talking right now, like.
What did you just do?
Did that make any sense?
It made no sense.
I feel like that's what he already does. He has that music that's playing and it slowly fades out.
If it fades into us talking.
Were you doing the ASMR or whatever?
ASMR, yeah.
Is that what you were doing?
I don't know what I was trying to mimic me echoing in.
Is that
fading in?
No ASMR. ASMR.
If only you could do it so down.
That's awful. No.
Dude,
that still pops up on my YouTube recommendations.
You should have seen him when I showed him ASMR videos. He was looking at it for a good 45 minutes straight.
Not 45 minutes. Get out of here with that.
I didn't know what it was. I saw it popping off. I was like, okay, just an abbreviation. I never knew what it stood for. Googled it. Didn't really find anything there. And then it just started popping up on my YouTube.
Yep.
And I was watching it, and people are talking like this. It's like, I don't really.
It's so weird. And then the food one. Then the food one was but I hate that stuff's popping up on my YouTube now all the time.
So supposedly that's supposed to make you fall asleep easier?
I mean, people try to say it's not sexual in nature, but I mean, it's kind of fetishy.
I think
But the main point is it's for you to fall asleep easier,
it's
right?
like a calming.
It's relaxing. I mean, there is a calming nature to it, I think, but it just.
I don't really find this relaxing though. I feel it kind of creepy.
It is. Don't do that no more.
I'm relaxed.
I'm not relaxed anymore. This is. How did we get on it?
Take a stretch.
There's a.
I'm ready for bed, boys.
What is ASMR?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Does
what
it actually
audio, sensory.
I think you're onto something.
Manipulation.
I think you're close,
How about a fact check?
Radar. Your last fast check on the show was not very good, Riley.
Uh-oh.
Autonomous.
Yeah.
Sensory.
Audio, sensory, manipulation.
Meridian. Response.
Meridian? I'm thinking of some
close.
place called the Meridian.
Characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation
There you go.
on the skin.
That's basically it. They're trying to use the vibrations of sound in earphones to
But
cause
you're
that
supposed to have the
sensation.
earphones on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it'd be very weird if you try to do it without.
That made me
Very
sad
weird.
to see how many views and stuff that was getting.
Yeah.
And I went to my YouTube channel and
I've never watched a video. I never watched one of those videos with earphones on.
That's the way to do it.
I never watch YouTube videos with earphones on, so I didn't know.
Same, yeah. That was the first time.
If you're not doing that, does anybody watch YouTube videos with headphones on?
I did when I was younger, traveling, on the bus or something.
You're listening to stuff you don't want to be loud.
Yeah.
Then
But then it's even weirder because then you just see a teenager on the bus going, and they're like, Jesus. You're like, God, dude.
The weird kid in the back
Yeah.
just laughing at nothing.
Back of the bus?
Yeah.
Were you guys one of those people that just had beeline straight for the back of the bus?
Yes, always.
Really?
I
Constantly.
never rode a bus.
No.
No.
Well, some of us aren't
Hated
always
it.
privileged.
Yeah.
What? We're going there?
Yeah. Did you ride your bike? Just walk?
No,
Walk
I
to school?
got rides.
Right.
Yeah, I always had a ride.
Walked.
Carpooled,
Yeah, walked or bust. I had a bike. I got it stolen because I'm not responsible.
Where did you leave it at?
At Walgreens.
Just
Me and my
sat there?
siblings
Just
were
in the
walking
rack?
up to.
No lock,
Yeah.
nothing?
No, I had a lock.
So
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, you didn't do nothing wrong.
I just no. Here's the thing. So me and my siblings go just for like whatever. It was a new bike. I was like, ooh boy, I want to go on my bike.
How old were you?
10 probably. I don't know.
So like yesterday,
last year.
And we go there, and they're walking. I'm on my bike. I just wanted to ride my bike. And then we get the stuff and we leave, and I didn't bring my bike back. I left it there locked. I was just so excited to ride it. I forgot to ride it back as well. So I know. And by the time I realized it was like 9 p.m. and I was just like, I'm about to go I left my bike at Walgreens.
Like laying in bed.
Well, what'd you go to Walgreens for in the first place?
I don't even know.
How long were you in there for?
Like 10 minutes. I know.
Man, look at this guy, all the questions, dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, it's because the only time my bike has gotten stolen was straight out from my garage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my whole family's home. During summertime, we always leave our garage doors open. Some odd reason. Probably
It must be nice to grow up in that neighborhood.
Yeah, but not
Just
when
gates unlocked and doors open.
No, I mean, bike just gets straight up stolen, straight from the garage. But here's the kicker. On the street that we live on, we had a detective that lives down the street. So supposedly from what he told us, he was just out there watering his yard with his hose, and then he just sees some random kid on a bike, and he literally thought to himself, it sucks to say it, but I mean, I got my bike back. Spoiler alert! But he thought he thought to himself, he's all, that kid looks way too sketch to be riding that nice of a bike.
Hey, I'm sorry. This just sounds like,
whoa.
I saw a colored kid riding a bike in this neighborhood.
That sounds like the
and
appropriate
No, I mean-
version to tell that
Oh,
story.
man, I see what you're trying to say here, but we all know what you're saying here.
But I mean, like, the thing
right?
is, like, obviously, yeah, I got my bike back, but that kid who stole my bike was actually somebody I went to school with, not in my grade,
Yeah.
but in my sister's age, which is only like 3 years older than me. We went to school together. Didn't really know the kid, but it's just like, dude, like,
How dare you?
you know what I mean?
And it's gonna awkward if you ever see him around school and you're just like,
No, actually, a couple months later, I saw him at the grocery store.
oh
Yeah.
man, hey, were you like,
I knew it was him, but I don't think he knew it was me, though. That's the thing.
oh, that's even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So you can silently judge him.
Exactly. Like,
Oh man, that's great, man.
so yeah.
So let's we got some brackets here, guys. Let's
March Madness.
March Madness is happening. It's March.
This one's mine.
Everyone
right
grab
here.
your bracket, dude. Everyone grab your
Oh,
bracket.
Jesus, thank you.
So
that's-
we're recording this Friday night. It's like round one's about to end here, and let's just talk about our brackets a little bit here, guys. Riley, you're killing it right now, man. Right?
Dude, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I filled out brackets just for fun, but I mean, as I get older, I'm, paying more and more attention. I know what's going on. But usually when it comes to things like this, it's like, it's just a guessing game, because
No, it's a guessing game. Yeah.
in basketball, anything can happen to anybody. Of course, as we saw last year, the number 1 seed lost to the 16th for the first time in history, so it's like, oh, everything's up in the air. I'm pretty solid right now. I mean, I'm looking at my live scoring.
Update.
There's 3 games. The last 3 games of the first round are going on right now. Right now, I'm
Like live standings, you got like 6 losses, right, in the first round. I thought you had this counted already.
I think you said 19 earlier. I don't know why. Oh, is this is it?
I don't know. That's what he's doing.
I'm 24-5 right now.
Okay. It's not bad. That's a really good. If you had submitted this somewhere, you'd probably be doing pretty good on like the ESPN challenge or something.
According to the last 3 games playing right now, 2 of them are winning. 2 of the teams I picked are winning. The other one's making a comeback. VCU.
But the live standing right now is 6 losses first round, right?
As of right now,
right now, yeah.
5.
No, but live standing the team.
Oh, yes, 6.
Like live standing because
26-6.
Well, we'll just go with that for now.
That's a
So,
solid first 32.
That's a great first
Yeah,
too.
so-
That's not even just solid. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So right now you're in the lead right now of the.
Am I? What's yours look like?
I think you knew more than I had, like 7, 8 losses, something like that at the moment,
I counted earlier, yeah.
which I'm pretty comfortable with.
Mhm.
My final 4.
You're over 500.
My final 4 still looks pretty solid,
Yeah.
So I think we're just gonna see how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
First round is just the start. You really don't know.
It's usually
until you
where all
get
the
it.
upsets happen.
It's when you start losing your final 4 and like Elite 8
Yeah.
games is when things get kind of weird. So
So here's the thing. Me and Beto actually kind of know a good amount of sports. What's your bracket look like, dude?
Edward Wright, tell us your
Give us
just
some
give us an
background about
overview
yourself.
of your
Yeah.
your basketball knowledge.
I know that there's a ball and a basket, hence why they call it basketball.
And they score touchdowns.
And they definitely score some form of touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I probably know,
Touchdowns.
I think the most I really know about basketball are the mascots of the professional league So you guys gave me college teams, so I definitely don't know anything about anything right now. So you guys gave me a bracket. I don't even watch sports, but I just I have my own reasonings for who I chose. I don't even know how many teams I won.
Can I look at this real quick?
Go for it,
Let me take a look at this, and
Please.
I'm gonna look at some of your more unusual picks.
Sure.
And I'm gonna see if maybe you could tell me why you picked some of these. Okay.
Okay.
Well, first off, how about who's in your Final Four, and who's in your championship, and who do you have winning it all?
My Final Four is Duke, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, and then Duke beating North Carolina in the
championship.
Championship.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. Duke beating North Carolina in the championship. I have Duke instead of Florida. I have Michigan. I have Virginia, and I have UNC.
Good luck with that Virginia one.
Both number 1 seeds. Yeah, they struggled a little bit today, but I mean, just from
I'm more interested in Edwards' Final Four.
So yeah, what's your Final Four look like?
We got Bradley and Marquette.
Okay.
And then Colgate and Auburn.
Colgate and Auburn.
I'll tell you why Bradley made it to my top 4 is because I love to death. I love Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
I love Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
And Colgate because it's the toothpaste.
Because it's exactly because it's
That's
the
what I was gonna
toothpaste.
say.
Exactly. Right.
Because it's the tooth. I was familiar with it.
Okay, let me see.
Marquette, deep cut for anyone that plays D&D. There's this famous Dungeons and Dragons game called Critical Role, and they go to a place called Marquette. It's spelled super differently, but I recognize the name.
But it's a college.
I bet it's a weird Middle Eastern place in a D&D game.
What about Auburn?
Auburn kind of sounds like August Burns Red if you mumble it.
Oh.
So I and I love August Burns Red. It's a metal band. So
do you know where that school's located? You think it's on Auburn, California?
Auburn, August, Burns. That's good.
Auburn, yeah. I was like Auburn. I was like that sounds like August Burns. Yeah.
Well,
solid logic right there.
I'm not a big fan of spoilers or anything, but 3 of those teams already lost. So.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oof. Rough.
You're devastated, huh?
Dog.
Okay.
Loss of words.
But other than that, I mean, like I said earlier, I was taking a peek at his first round. I mean, for somebody that knows nothing about sports and specifically college basketball, which is a broad range, because there's like 100 different colleges. That's not bad at all.
I think they're just telling you about college basketball and how just like random it is.
Yeah.
So
I'm a solid guesser.
Okay, I want to go through. There's some interesting ones here. You have UFC playing Duke at the second round.
Is UCF, but I just recognize it as UFC.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so that's why you chose.
Is
them
that
to
why
win.
you chose
Yeah.
UFC to win?
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I chose them to win.
So I see you have St. Louis over Virginia Tech. Why St. Louis?
I have an uncle from St. Louis.
An uncle from St. Louis. Okay.
You want a live score on that one since that game's going on right now?
No.
No.
Okay. G-Web over Virginia. Why G-Web? Do you know what G-Web stands for?
I know what the web stands for. The World Wide Web. That's why I chose it.
Okay.
Yep.
Ole Miss over Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure that was in that movie with Sandra Bullock.
Ole Miss?
I'm
what?
pretty
That's
sure.
The Blind Side.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure it's Blindside, so I recognize the name.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
Kansas State over UC Irvine.
My grandparents are from Kansas, and so is Tech 9, and I like Tech 9.
The hood is definitely going crazy.
Villanova over St. Mary's.
Villanova?
Mm-hmm.
Villanova. Oh, it sounds like villain, and that's a cool name.
And you like villains.
Yep,
Okay.
I like villains.
Old Dominion over Purdue.
And Anthem, the main group of enemies are called the Dominion.
Okay.
I recognize the name.
Iowa over Cincinnati.
One of Slipknot's best albums is called Iowa.
Colgate, we determined that. North Carolina over Iona.
North. I just recently saw a girl on Tinder, and she was from North Carolina.
Did she match with you?
No, she did not match with me.
So that means they definitely should lose then.
No, she was cute still.
No.
Okay. Was she? Okay. Washington over Utah State.
I want to go to Seattle one day.
Me too.
Okay.
Respect that.
Auburn over. Oh, we did Auburn already.
Yeah.
Kansas over Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas. Why Kansas? Oh, Kansas.
There was 2 counts. I thought there was only one college in Kansas ever, but I guess I was wrong.
2 Iowas, so we know that.
Yep,
Houston
that's right.
over Georgia State.
Houston over Georgia. A voice actor I know came from Houston.
Wofford. Why Wofford?
Because it sounds like waffles. Solid reasoning. Did they win?
They did win.
Albany Christian over Kentucky.
I'm sorry, who versus Kentucky?
Abilene
Christian.
Abilene. That's a character from a story. I don't remember the story, but I remember the character's name was called Abilene.
Montana over Michigan.
My grandpa's cousin is from Montana.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got Gonzaga over F. Dickinson.
That sounds. Let me see the spelling. I can't remember because it looks like a word.
Here somewhere.
Gazanga. Gazunga. It looks like when I read it as Gazunga. So that's why.
That's interesting. Okay, I love your strategy here, dude.
Yep, it's a solid one. So
I wish I had the mascots for you, and I could have made a bracket for you. Just
that would
have
based off the mascots.
Yeah, but it wouldn't say the school, no seatings, nothing. It's just like a Billiken versus there's a Billiken. You know what a Billiken is?
I know what a pelican is.
Oh, a Billiken. Do you know what a Billiken is? St. Louis, I think they are the Billikens.
Sounds like umbilical.
It's an umbilical cord. That's their mascot.
Pelican umbilical.
Look up what a Billiken is.
It's afterbirth and everything.
Can I get a language of origin and spelling, please?
Can you use it in a sentence?
St. Louis.
The St. Louis Billikens lost in the first round.
Okay.
Oh God, what is it gonna look like?
So
what's it gonna look like?
Is that a knight?
A knight. You know, we can put the Billikens. Something about knights.
Oh, the rival team. Rival school.
The Billikens. There
Wikipedia. A charm doll created by an American art teacher and illustrator, Florence Pretz of Kansas City, Missouri. Does that sound any familiar?
It's a cursed doll, basically, huh? It's a Billiken.
Yeah.
That's a great mascot.
That's terrifying.
That would have won on my bracket.
See,
if you had known
that would have won.
Billikens, yeah.
St. Louis is in Missouri, right?
There's a lot of voodoo
the
there.
origin is from Kansas City, Missouri. So St. Louis, Kansas City, I mean, they should be close together if they're in the same state, right?
You think so?
So, I mean...
Say so.
I mean, that's probably why they chose it, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think there's some voodoo background there.
That's what I'm saying. That might have
going on in
yeah.
St. Louis.
There's some voodoo doll stuff going on right
But I
there.
hate to break it to you, they are down 17 in the second half, so...
Oof.
Devastated.
Rough.
Yeah. So, I know both of you guys chose St. Louis. I chose VT. So, again, my bracket's looking hot. Don't mean to brag,
because you did the work and research this year, huh?
Honestly,
how many full college basketball games did you watch this year?
0.
Start to finish.
I've watched one half of one.
Zion,
a full one. Hey, got it. I tried to jump on the hype, dude. He's a good player, very strong, but haven't watched a full on basketball.
Riley's
game.
analysis of this is just amazing.
It's better than mine.
Pretty good.
I mean,
I loved your.
No, yeah, that was good. I'm surprised you
you
you gave an explanation on every single pick you chose, and that's 32 picks. So that's crazy.
I couldn't give you a reason why I picked all the teams I picked.
No, not at all. I chose one because one was a good seed, one had a good record. Pretty simple as that.
Someone gave me a challenge and I took it.
Yeah.
And I had fun. I learned something about myself. I still don't know anything about sports, and I don't really want to.
What'd you learn about yourself?
That I don't really like sports, and I don't want to learn. I thought you think after some time I might be like, oh, this is fun.
No interest at all in sports.
Nope.
Watching.
I don't even I play video games a lot, and I don't even keep up with esports. I just don't. I don't know why. I play a game competitively, but I don't keep up with other people or teams for that. And so I'm not good, but I still play on the comp version of the game.
All right, so we'll see. Maybe in a couple weeks here, or next week, or whenever we do this again, we'll do an update on.
You did give me
bracket.
When you were. Me and you got into a heated argument about your fantasy football league. Some time ago. That was the most I've ever been involved in a sports discussion.
What were we
right
arguing
now.
about?
Some guy on your one of your leagues was like, "This guy
Le'Veon
is out."
Bell.
Yeah, he was out for 12.
No, someone dropped him when it still looked like he was coming back.
Well, it doesn't look like he's coming back because he said he was gone for 12 games, right? Or 11.
Because remember around week 8 when it looked like he was.
Yeah, they're like,
back.
oh, reports are coming. He's coming after his bye.
And the guy who had him was 0-8, and he just dropped him. So. Right when it looked like he was coming back. So, dude, you can't just drop him.
I'm surprised they were able to drop him because usually there's that thing where the non-drop list. Yeah.
I guess he got taken off of it, and as soon as he got taken off, they just dropped him. But
did he end up coming back?
He has a new team now, so we'll see how he does. I'm not too sure if they're going to be any good, but
I don't think so.
Those are the only 2 times I've ever been involved in sports discussions, and because he was telling me how do you think if you're in a league, should you have rules, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you guys didn't set rules. And he's like, no, but it should be this way. I'm like, well, you guys didn't set rules. Sorry.
There's
very, very
rules,
ethical.
There is I mean, you got to respect the game. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
And then and this wasn't even a debate. I just had fun filling out a bracket.
I'm going to get you into sports, dude.
I doubt it.
I'm going to do it.
I really doubt it.
What do you think his record would have been in the tournament of subs?
Tournament of subs. Oh, we should pull it up real quick and have him fill one out.
Oh,
No. Okay, this will be for the next episode. I'm gonna have you. So last year, we did a different bracket. Me and Bish, we did a tournament of subs. He's always had this thing where he wanted to find the best sub sandwich in Fresno.
Sure. Oh,
So,
okay. You think you told me about this
We made a
before.
bracket. One
Nice.
side was all the chain
Like
national chain of
yeah.
Subways and like whatever stuff like that, and the other side was like local delis and stuff
Oh
like that.
man,
right?
you put all the locals together?
Yeah, so we had them
Crazy.
on separate sides, and then it came down to a final.
Oh man.
So what we did is we actually had brackets and had like listeners fill them out and submit them.
That's great.
And we actually
I submitted it. I
was-
was a listener.
for what it was. I'm surprised how many brackets we had submitted.
That's
I was
crazy.
pretty excited. Like,
And you were telling me earlier before we started, you said my bracket was trash.
I think I was just telling you that.
I
Of
forgot.
delis?
I had Sunnyside Deli. I live right next to it. I had
Sure,
them in the championship. I was the guy who'd like, double overtime buzzer
Yeah,
beater,
yeah.
super close because they tasted all these subs.
Yeah,
Sunnyside Deli over
Sam's won it.
Sam's.
Deli.
Yeah,
But Sunnyside made it to the semi, so
yeah, it's
that was
fairly close. But yeah,
I was just giving you a hard time about it. But yeah, so me and Beej, we had to go around to like, we ate sub sandwiches for like 3 weeks straight, just going to every place and like breaking it down.
Sure.
Each one, and we had 16 different sub sandwich places.
I can tell you who my champion would have been.
Who? Taco Bell.
The equivalent Subway.
Oh, you're
Subway would have been my
you're
champion.
Gross, man.
Well, cause see, I'm real basic.
Yeah.
I'm like the most basic person you'll probably ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite form of Mexican food, which I know I'm gonna get lynched for that ever,
Taco Bell.
is Taco Bell. My favorite form of Chinese food is Panda,
Mm-hmm.
and my favorite subs are Subway.
You told me that you're not very adventurous though with what
No.
you try and eat.
No,
Maybe it's because you need to try more stuff.
I probably would have gone to 2 of those sub places on the bracket list.
If
And tried 'em out.
If I
Subway
like
and
invited
maybe
you to
different
lunch somewhere at one of these places, would you go with me?
Yeah, I'm down to try things out.
You look nervous.
I know.
Yes. Oh my god.
the thing is, and it's funny because
I gotta
when he made that bracket and I started filling it out, most of those places I've never even heard of. Because like I said, like you said, I'm a basic guy as well. Subway definitely my go-to. Deli D, Sunnyside Deli, you live right next to it. I mean, I never heard of the other places. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing though, like I learned about some pretty cool places. Like, have you been to Firehouse?
No.
I love
See,
Firehouse.
Did you give him
Firehouse
seating?
sub is a great. We kind of did.
Okay.
Do we?
I
I'm
kind of
curious.
put it in what I
Yeah.
kind of thought, like, you know.
Yeah.
What it
You
was
thought
gonna
would
do.
be number one
Listen,
seed.
I knew Sam's and Sunnyside were both amazing places,
Yeah.
so I kind of put them on opposite ends of the deli side. But yeah, I mean, dude, branch out a little bit, Edward. I'm not very adventurous with my food, and I can tell you.
Let's do a
like,
new
eat
bracket
something
for Chinese food. I'll be down.
Chinese food?
Ooh.
I'll be down
that's
AF
weird.
for
Dude,
that.
hey, come on,
that gets pricey.
down as AF.
I can't. I'll be down as a.
But no, here's the
Let's
thing.
set up a GoFundMe for funds to get a Chinese.
For Edward. Okay, set that up. Hey, earn your 5%. Go set that up, dude.
There you go. Savage.
No, but here's the thing. Okay, just being real. Most Chinese food tastes the same.
Sure.
Like, it's going to be hard to determine the difference between, like, I bet you I can go get 2 different ones right now, put it in the same, like, well, they come in the same container. They're going to look and taste the same.
Probably.
And you
Most
won't
Chinese
know.
places have
So
the exact
I feel
same
like
one.
doing that for Chinese food is going to be a little tough. My Beige wanted to do tacos.
Pizza.
Pizza would be pretty good.
Ooh, pizza.
That-
would be
yeah.
great.
expensive, too.
I think
That'd be solid.
I said that'd be pretty good. Yeah.
That would be great.
Don't take credit, dude.
I'd be down for pizza.
So, Little Caesars is $5. Was it one for you? $5?
No, okay, that's the only place I'm not basic. I'm very
Oh,
bougie with my
what?
pizza.
Are you really?
I'm
Like, what's bougie to you?
the overpriced pizza that people don't want to pay for.
Like Round Table.
More expensive, Domino's.
Really?
Domino's isn't more expensive
Yeah.
than
No,
Round Table.
Round
no,
Table.
no.
I'm also ignorant. I'm
You
oblivious.
came over one night. We had some Domino's, and dude, they were like $5.99 for medium pizzas.
Did you guys hear about New Zealand?
Did you think I paid? I should let you think. Dad paid like $20 for each of these.
I know.
pizzas.
You're like, oh man, Edward sacrificed so much money. He
Yeah.
paid $60 per box. Crazy.
Don't even worry about it, dude. I got this. You get it next time. Yeah.
Should we jump into that?
So you brought up New Zealand. Wow.
Sure, yeah.
Transition.
I know. Quite
Yeah.
Wow. Oh gosh.
smooth, right? Yeah.
That was pretty smooth. Okay, so
Where-
let's just get
where
into
were-
that.
What
man.
were you guys doing when you found out about that?
I woke up.
That
I
was a
think
smooth transition, right?
I think I had worked that day, and I was. I think Albert opened, so I had a
Yeah.
little bit of time. Normally, for some reason, every time something goes on, I'm a big fan of Steven Crowder, and there will be something someone will upload somewhere.
Steven
Just like
Crowder?
a little quick. Heads up to the Muck Club. And he did this, like, normally he doesn't post a video that's just like unedited or like raw, not in the studio, and he just uploaded a video from his like living room. basically saying that he wanted all of us, long story short, he wanted all of us to read the manifesto that the killer released, and then compare it to what the media is putting out.
Yeah.
So that's how I heard about it.
That's interesting that he said that right away. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about the shooting itself until I woke up at that time because of Stephen Crowder.
Yeah.
And it was already in some form of political debate. It wasn't even just like, here's what's going on. It was already like, hey, here's my opinion on this, and that.
It gets jumped on pretty quickly.
Yeah. Super
debates.
quickly.
I'm surprised that he was trying to share that manifesto, because usually, so how I found out was just off Twitter, what is trending, right? I
was the same.
Yeah, started off pretty small, didn't really think too much of it, but it jumped up. That's why I started getting my eyes on it. And, I'm reading all these, links and articles and stuff like that, of what's happening on Twitter again, like I said, and people are commenting like, oh, you don't share this, don't release the name, don't do this, don't this. I'm surprised that he did that. So.
Well, I think there was reasons behind that if you want to get into the manifesto, but there was a lot in the beginning. Like, obviously, every time there's a shooting like that, they don't share the shooter's name, don't show his face. They don't the less you talk about the actual guy himself, the less there's maybe like a copycat shooter, or because honestly, a lot of what they're doing, they want fame. They're doing it to kind of, they think there's glory in that somehow, even after
and here's
death
the thing,
or getting caught.
When you said don't share his name, don't share his face.
Don't share the video.
Yeah, what happened was he actually live streamed it all on Facebook.
Oof.
Did you see it?
I did.
Did you see it?
So when
of the massacre?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't watch that.
It was like a head cam. It looked like Call of Duty.
So what he did.
Normally, I watch like killings or whatever, because like they'll pop up randomly and it will be covered and say, do you want to watch a mature video? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And it's like someone being decapitated. Normally, I'm not fazed by that. I know it's pretty graphic, but I mean, I don't know. But I wouldn't watch that though.
What the shooter did, he live streamed on Facebook Live as he was doing this. He hooked up a camera to it. I guess he was wearing a helmet.
I think so.
He hooked up like a GoPro like camera, and it literally looked like. I hate to say it. I did watch the video, for reasons I'll explain later. But it did look like a first person video game, and it's just it
looked like a first person shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. Minutes of him, just massacring. It's horrible.
The little bit I saw was just like a quick, like little 20-second clip. Like I didn't go looking for the full video, because I guess it was like 15 minutes or something, wasn't it? Like
it was a few minutes, yeah.
Well, because it started in the car with him like saying stuff in the car, and pushing like his propaganda or whatever he was trying to say. Well, I just did want to talk about that for a second, because you were talking about, did Steve Crowder give his reasons why he wanted to share what was on the manifesto? Because I have my ideas and feelings. I wasn't sure. I didn't listen to the Stephen Crowder video.
So basically what he was just saying was he went out and said himself as well too, like normally people don't do this and they don't press for that. But because he and his team had read the manifesto and people were pushing a certain point of view, kind of just twisting the words or just lying about what was on the manifesto essentially. So he wanted us to understand what the guy was saying. And, eventually we all kind of realized it was so absurd that he was kind of a troll. Yeah. It probably didn't mean anything, but that didn't stop people from saying like, oh, and this is Trump's fault. Right. So basically Crowder was saying that, normally we don't do this, but we want you guys to have the facts. He didn't do this because of like Trump. And if he did, it's obviously like a troll. He's saying like, listen to what is being said and what was actually written. And decide for yourself what that means and why people are twisting those words and everything like that.
Yeah, but it was definitely him being a troll. Like he even said on there, like he did this to drive the conversation about gun debate and the gun rights. It's like he even brought up names of, like he brought up PewDiePie and Candace Owens, and these people
just hot buzz.
He had it sketched on his weapons too.
Yeah, but he even says that if you, like they were saying in the manifesto, his reasoning for doing it and for mentioning those names was to just incite discussion and cause a scene, like he wanted. So like when you come out and there's this political gun debate, that's what he wanted. When he wanted you to like blame, Trump and other things, that was his whole reason behind it. So when he does that and then we do that, the media, comes out and does that, I mean, he's getting what he wanted. I mean, I think that was kind of the point in like at this point sharing the manifesto, because the manifesto wasn't as much about like I don't know, ideology or like, I mean, it was, but behind that, there was like that trolling aspect of it too, and wanting to drive that type of discussion, which was pretty gross. So like I don't go blame PewDiePie for this. I'm not blaming Candace Owen for this.
It's weird. Growing up as a kid who watched a lot of YouTube videos and YouTube gamers, I hated PewDiePie so much. He was just kind of annoying.
Well, a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, and then when someone said they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah news, blaming Trump, blaming PewDiePie, and then I heard massacre, I'm like, PewDiePie and a massacre? I'm like, what did he... has he just flipped a new leaf? He just like, screw games on YouTube. Right. I'm going to start a cult. And then that's kind of what caused me to kind of look more into it, and I was like, "Oh, that's not his fault at all." Someone literally chose his name for a reason because of the subscription war that's going on, right? And he's super popular on the internet because people are wanting him to be the most subscribed person. Mm-hmm. So if they just threw out his name, they just, like you said, just wanted to get a discussion started.
It's like, he's talking. Oh, by the way, PewDiePie. Yeah, like it was literally just like.
And I believe that one day, PewDiePie, that we should continue to go. Yeah,
it literally was like that. So. I mean, so that's the reason why, like, usually, like you said, Crowder usually wouldn't do that. But in this situation, he was like, let's get it out there and let's show the reason. Like, let's have some context behind what he's saying and why he's saying it. So, there's
spreads good awareness, I guess. But with the after effect of it, supposedly the prime minister banned all automatic weapons, assault rifles, everything like that. High capacity magazines. So that's all banned now, just from that one massacre. So.
They're going to do like a buyback, right?
Shows, they go for a lot of change after just one massacre, but in the United States, it's like,
Maybe we could learn a thing or two from that.
Okay, do you guys want to talk about that a little bit then?
Albert and I really got into an argument the other day talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about it a little. And Riley, I'm curious to see what you have to think about it. What do you think about New Zealand doing that? And how would you think America? Because you said like we haven't done that.
I feel like we haven't dive deep into this conversation, but we've touched on it. I remember telling you, and I said this verbatim. I said, assault rifles are titled assault rifles because they're used for assault. Mm-hmm. I said something along that line, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not ban them? Because just for its title, assault rifles, mainly used for assault. And I think that's what I remember telling you. Of course, I'm not the most educated person on this type of stuff, but connect the dots, you know what I mean? So
So is it like it's called assault and it looks big and scary, so like we have to ban it, or is that just basically what it is? Like, and again, this is okay, I'm gonna come on this side of it too, because I'm not even a big gun person. Like I've been open to I don't own guns. I'm not even that comfortable around them, but I'm definitely all for us owning them.
No, I am too.
Yeah, so okay, the thing with that though, let's just get into so you think that the gun buyback, and both of you guys tend to agree that you agreed with that they should have done that?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Okay, so why? You think that's going to prevent more mass shootings because of that?
Something that we kind of talked about. I realized as you're saying it, because I get what you were saying, but you had basically said that people that would give into this buyback situation essentially are the people that are abiding by the law. Mm-hmm. So they probably wouldn't be committing any crimes in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. The people that are going to be committing crimes that own guns, probably, it's not obviously, common sense, they probably won't, but there's still a chance they will, but they probably won't actually trade in those guns. Mm-hmm. So it seems like it might be effective for a different reason, but not the reason that we want it to be.
Yeah,
it's not going to be effective to prevent the next massacre, because the guy that's going to cause the next massacre isn't going to just hand over his gun. Mm-hmm. But hopefully, it will prevent something else. Maybe an accident at home. Maybe, I don't know, something. It might prevent something somewhere, and that's why I support it. That's why I like that.
Okay,
but it probably won't prevent the next massacre. But it's still beneficial regardless.
But beneficial, like that's I don't understand beneficial, because first of all, New Zealand, if we're just taking that example, they're like one of the safest countries in the world.
Heard about that.
So you're going to completely change everything based on one incident, and there weren't even New Zealand citizens, right? I think they were like Australian or something like that.
I think the shooter was.
The shooter? No, I thought he was from. Oh, either way. Okay, that's just but that's one of the safest places, as far as gun violence goes. So one incident isn't gonna.
Yeah, and when I heard that kind of is concerning, because if they're ranked one of the safest countries in the world, this thing happens once, and they go out and change all of that. It's like, I'm kind of curious to see what the result's going to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
let me ask you. So you think that's a good idea to do here, New Zealand aside?
This is where our argument started. Mm-hmm. I would love that,
but just for that reason, though. But basically, you said to prevent accidents.
To help prevent any type of accident or killing with the gun, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So normally I don't consider myself like liberal. I actually kind of consider myself conservative. Mm-hmm. But the few liberal points I do agree with, I'm pretty liberal on. I get pretty like leftyist, almost borderline like feministy kind of crazy on those things. Okay. Those I have fairly extreme views on the things that are liberal. I think I would love to take away guns from everyone in the world ever, but I know that's not realistic. That'll never happen ever. Mm-hmm. So I do support like super strict gun control laws, but I do like to point out that an instance like this will hopefully show other countries that, you know, maybe you can do something to help combat violence.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. Okay, so like we make these big deal about assault rifles, and yes, we've had like I don't think mass shootings with assault rifles are as big a deal when it comes to the total number of gun deaths that we have in this country. It's still such a very tiny small percent of it. And so if you're going to ban those from people who have these guns already illegally, I don't see how that's going to be that beneficial. Mm-hmm. Right. So when it comes to just taking away a freedom, taking away the freedom of people that are going to use them in a responsible way, because someone who's getting them illegally and doing that, and it's not even, a high percentage of gun deaths. It's a very tiny percentage of them. It's just like we always talk about, like the tiny percentage of things causing a whole effect over the whole thing. You know, it's not gonna. There's no evidence showing that it's going to do anything. And if we don't have a strong evidence showing that it's going to make a big difference, taking away freedoms like that, I think the burden of proof is on you to prove that this strategy is going to work and prevent it. And I don't think. And then in most of these cases with these, it's very rare that they purchase these legally.
Yeah.
So. Of course, now the way I view things, I'm all for, you know, the founding fathers, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, everything like that. You know, the Second Amendment, everything like that. I'm for it because that's what we were founded upon. Different strategies to try to prevent these things from happening. For example, maybe hiring the age limit. Mm-hmm. What do you think on that?
Oh, I don't even know about it. Honestly, I don't know. That's like, again, I'm all for stricter gun laws.
Yeah.
But anytime you talk about taking away a gun, that's when I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know about that. Like,
and like I said, I'm the same way because of what the amendment states, that, you know, we do have that right, but I definitely gotta agree with you. Stricter gun laws, I'm for it because it's crazy. It's crazy.
I agree. I just think the assault rifles ban, I just don't see how big a deal. I just don't see how that's going to make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, I mean, we could run around in circles about what we're trying to say or anything like that. But I mean, if we're just trying to take dangerous weapons off the street, I feel like even though it may not help the massacres in general, it'll help prevent something. So it's going to be helpful.
But then we go to then. Do you want to prevent outlaw handguns?
Sure.
Handguns are like 99% of gun violence is from handguns.
Yeah. Best case, in my utopia, we take away guns from everyone.
Okay, but this isn't a utopia. we're talking about like actual policy here.
Realistically, all we can do...
If you want to keep people safe from gun violence, you're going to have to say, we're going to have to ban handguns.
Sure.
And is that something realistically you'd want to do?
It's not realistic to actually happen, but I would like if the country as a whole, we all said, yeah, sure, let's do that. But that's not going to happen.
But again, but that's where we got to go. Like the Green New Deal, you know, if you just take it for what it is, it sounds perfect. Yeah. Nobody does anything that causes any emissions, and we just print money out of our butts and it's all good.
I like your example on that one.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So we would just say, like, I want all guns to just disappear. Like Thanos could snap them away with his Infinity Gauntlet and the guns go to dust. But that's just not going to happen, right? And I was even looking at this thing and they were talking about like there's guns coming from across the border as well. Like I mean, they were trying to turn this into a gun. So we can ban guns here. What's that going to do? It's going to increase
the black market. It's going to flood the black market with guns.
Right. And I guess that's actually a big deal right now because there's a lot of things about like the cities with the strictest gun laws are usually the cities that have the highest gun violence. And it's because they're getting illegally trafficked into the cities through gangs and through illegal ways like that. So it's like the laws themselves aren't preventing the gun violence in places like Chicago and New York and LA and stuff like that, where they have the strictest gun laws, but that just means that the guns are coming in illegally anyway, So that's why I'm like, passing another law when the laws aren't preventing these things from happening in the first place. Like, I think they're just, like, blaming the gun is just, I just don't see it, man.
I'm so glad I'm not a politician.
Oh gosh,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
I think we all literally agree. I think as a country too, most of us could probably agree. Just stricter gun laws in general is probably the best and most realistic way to probably prevent
Some people
more
might not.
violence like
that. I'm down for stricter gun laws, and like I said, but like I even told you, I think people should have to go through an obstacle course, like SWAT team training,
little boot
get
camp.
your gun, little boot camp.
Yeah.
Okay, not like,
Action hero training.
Yeah.
Go through the John Wick shooting course real quick. If you can pass that in 20
like
minutes.
that thing where like if the burglar pops out and you shoot him, you're good. But if like
the civilian pops
the
up,
grandma holding the baby pops out and you shoot the cardboard, like, oh, you failed. You don't get your gun.
You don't get the license.
So,
I think all we really disagree on is what we would want ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, know my want. It will never happen. So as long as we can all agree, stricter gun control would be more beneficial. I think that would be.
But then,
best.
that's just one of those things that say like, I want stricter gun control. I
What is
want
that?
health reform. I want better border control. Our border policy.
expensive.
No, but it's not. But what does that mean? Then there's disagreement on what that policy is.
Mm-hmm.
I want a better gun control policy. Well, what exactly does that
what's
mean?
better? What's
What's
better
mean?
to that person? You know what I mean?
And how much
Yeah.
is that going to cost? And what's the benefit of it? And is that actually going to do something? What's the evidence showing that policy is actually going to make a big enough difference for us to implement the new agencies and the money we're going to put into it? You have to. Like, there's just so much that goes into it than just saying I want, better gun policy, or I want safer. Like, we all want that, but it's just determining what the best way to do that.
I think that's probably the biggest thing too. I don't think anyone really comes out and says what I think a lot of people are very vague.
That's the thing. And that's what
No one's really come out with a strict I want gun control and this is the gun control I
Right.
want. It's just
I just want gun control.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want everyone to have healthcare. Well, how much do you want to tax people? Oh, I don't know. Well, you're gonna have to tax people a lot of money. What's the percentage?
we'll get there.
Their fair amount. Like, well, what's your fair amount? Just equally, fair. And like, so no one has any answer. So that's the thing. Like, we all say these things, or politicians say these things, but until there's an actual evidence as to this is going to work and this is why it's going to work, it's kind of hard for me to get behind.
That's fair.
Just the hey, we're going to do this, because I mean, when it comes down to it, the more you start taking freedoms away, it's hard to get those freedoms back. And so if you're going to say you're going to take away a freedom from me, you better darn well prove to me that that's going to be worth it and this is going to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is a freedom I don't
sacrifice.
even. It's a freedom I don't even participate in. It's not a freedom I use. But as a country, I'm for more freedom, less government involvement in 99% of things. So kind of not sure how I feel about that.
That's why I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to turn out, because it only took them 3 days to make that decision. So
I think that's also I want to look good and show that I'm doing something and show the world that.
Oh, probably.
I mean, I don't think it's really this. I think, is she a prime minister?
Prime minister, but it did get support from all of their parties down there. So,
but that I think that's just look at us, we're doing something. Look how good we look.
Well, have they ever had a massacre over there?
No.
I think as a country, if they're crowned the least violent town in the world or anything like that, and this is their first massacre, I think whether they'd wanted to look good or they were just scared, they were like, oh yeah, we need to get rid of this.
Maybe,
Either one of those.
I don't really feel like they need to do that, because being rated one of the safest countries, you're already looking good. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Again, that's why I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but
are people afraid to go to New Zealand now? I don't think so, right? I mean,
it's going to take some time, but I'm going to be. This is, like I said, I'm not trying to get into politics and stuff like this, but I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on, because we'll see
if it's effective. If you think, would you be okay with maybe following their footsteps if it shows to be effective?
but that's the thing. New Zealand was already one of the safest places in the world. So if
it's gonna be hard.
So passing a law, they're saying, oh, we're safe now.
Even safer.
We're safe now because that's the same thing happened in Australia. They did this huge gun buyback and got rid of guns, but they were like, dude, you guys were already on a super decline in gun violence. Then you guys are on decline. one thing happens. You do these, like, you do the gun buyback and try to get rid of guns, and you keep declining. Well, you just kept doing what you were doing. So that doesn't show me evidence as to that that was the reason for it. It's just, you just kind of kept along the same thing. Mm-hmm. Or, well, how about this? How about in England, where like pretty much guns are illegal, but like they're doing knife donations now and like knife buyback kind of things. They have like boxes like in the streets of London where you can drop off knives. Like they encourage you to put knives in a box and give it to the government because there's so many stabbings.
Yeah.
Like, because they got rid of guns, and what are they doing now? They're just like stabbing the heck out of each other. That's crazy. Like, so they're going to get rid of knives. Now, there was actually like the mayor or governor or whatever of London, he's talking about banning certain kind of knives, like kitchen knives, because they're stabbing people so much with them.
No.
I think when he told me this, I was like, you can ban all our knives as long as you promise me everything you sell to us will be pre-sliced. Then I have no issue with that. But if you just start selling us just loaves of bread on sliced, then I'll have an issue.
Loaves of bread and sliced.
I'd be good if there was onions.
I was thinking like tomatoes.
I don't gotta cry when I cut my onions
sliced tomatoes and stuff. But I'm just thinking of that, dude. There's like a big box on the street. Drop off your knife.
I'd take one. I hope it's
That's
like
crazy.
a give one, take one kind of like the penny things. That'd be great. I'd be like, ooh, I got a Bowie knife.
Give it the dangerous one. We'll give you one.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
would you like the needle buyback? Is that what you're trying to do? With
Yeah.
Knives?
There you
Preparing
go.
for the zombie apocalypse.
That's right. Yeah, I'm building a collection. For the record, too, I love the coolness of guns as much as I want to take them away from all of us. Like in a cool world, I would have like a revolver that has like a name etched in or something. I'd be like, ooh, Wild West. But I also want to take guns away. But since we have them, I kind of want one. Right?
So do you want one or not? Would you get one?
Just get like a model. Not like a real gun. Just get a model.
I'll get like a Nerf gun. And get like a...
You sort of... Is that going to make you feel cool?
A Nerf gun with your name etched on it?
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, like, I'm thinking about it because I am... Like, thinking about it, I'm not saying they're going to take away guns, but it's going to get even more and more difficult to get. And I see that. And I'm like, I might as well get one now while it's at least easier to get one.
Sure.
Like, I'm just saying 20 years from now, if I decide I want a gun, you know how hard it's going to be? Because it's never going to get easier. They're never going to make it. Gun rights aren't going to ever be freer than they are right now. They're only going to get stricter. They're only going to get harder, and they're only going to like go closer to banning certain types of guns. So like, I think that rhetoric and that talk also increases people's desire to buy more guns. The more you talk about taking away a gun, if you're someone who wants a gun, what are you going to go do? You're going to go buy a bunch of them.
You're going to say, that's way too much money. Now I'm going to put it towards something else.
No, see, they're not, though. See, that's what I'm saying. If you keep talking about how you want to ban AR-15s, if you're someone who enjoys buying guns, you're going to go out and buy a bunch of them. Like, if you told me, like, hey, we're going to start banning Oreos, I'm going to go buy a bunch of Oreos, man. I have
Before
Oreos right there. I was thinking about
extinct,
something. Yeah. Before Twinkies. Remember when Twinkies were a deal and they were going away?
Oh, that was big
Dude,
craze.
I was going to load up on Twinkies.
Yeah. It's like hibernation.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If you're talking about the possibility of taking something away that people hold dear to them, I'm not saying I do, but there's people in this country who
super pro second.
Yeah, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna buy the heck out of them, and I'm gonna have an army, I could form an army in my backyard.
Form a little neighborhood and
a
watch
little militia.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't like the. That's not like, and this brings another topic that has got me thinking about something you told me that happened today.
Yeah.
This is a weird transition, but I'll tell you why this is a transition for me.
I was on my lunch break today, and of course, I'm scrolling. I see the news, Twitter, everything like that. What popped up was a Parkland survivor, 19 years old. Of course, since it's already been a year. Last year, when she was 18, she's probably.
It's been a year already.
It's been
Since the Parkland one.
Last Valentine's Day, but anyways, from connecting the dots, she probably was a senior at the time. She took her life this past weekend because she was diagnosed with PTSD and survivor's guilt. What I also read was one of her closest friends was a victim and did not make it. So yeah, that's what I came across today.
I'm so sorry. She's a what survivor?
The Parkland shooting. It was the big school shooting a year ago. I don't know if you remember. There were like all these kids that they were putting out in the news, and
like the Never Again.
It started
March for Our Lives.
They had the March for Our Lives.
The high school, the Florida high school.
Too many massacres. I can't keep
right.
count. Sorry.
No, and then they had all the high school kids that they were like on CNN every day and.
Don't watch news.
Right. Okay. Well.
I
So, yeah.
passed by
You've
news.
probably seen the pictures of some of these kids. If I showed you pictures of them, you'd probably recognize them.
because the kids were all over the news, and again, that's what you kind of pushed your button right there. So let's get into that. What do you think about that?
Which part?
Just tell me everything.
I mean everything. Give me a little more specific. Dude.
Okay. Well, because I remember I ran it by you today. Told you how it happened.
You probably recognize this girl, right?
No.
No? Okay, never mind.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I told you about it. PTSD from witnessing it and being a part of it. Survivor's guilt. Pretty much what that means is, even though you survived it, you lost some really good friends, and you just feel guilty. You know what I mean? That they didn't take you; they took them instead. So when she went to college, she was scared of just being in a classroom in general. She skipped a lot of college classes. Just had the PTSD effect, and
was she actually diagnosed, or did that's something?
I found she was diagnosed from what I read.
Okay, and she still went away to college, and
I mean, you got to continue your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, there's also. Go ahead.
Like I said, I was.
But that's kind of like saying you got PTSD from Iraq, and you're like, I'm going back to Iraq. So wish me luck. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's certain care, and that's what it comes down to me. I think we don't. There's much more of a gun problem, less of a gun problem, more of not trying to mental illness and just a society problem of how we handle people that are struggling with things and issues and stuff like that, right? Because in every one of these situations where there's shootings, they look back and are like, oh, there was a sign for this. Oh, why didn't we do something here? Like every single one of them, they always go look back at the history of these people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and with her, obviously something was missed here, that she needed some help, or there were warning signs there. Obviously, she was diagnosed with these things. Yeah. I don't know the whole situation, but
I don't know either. Like I said, I just ran over it very briefly when I was on my lunch. It's good that you mentioned that about getting help. I read that it was acknowledged that she didn't seek help at all. So I'm not too sure, why nobody took initiative. If they knew she was struggling. Like I said, it's really hard to see somebody close to my age, go through that. I'm just wondering, why, especially her parents, no disrespect at all, but it's like, if she was diagnosed with this and she's not getting help, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like you said, it's kind of hard to blame, but that's where my initial thought went. If she had all these, when you said going away to college, taking a year or two off, or doing, again, it's easy for me. It's oh, they should have done this. I'm not trying to be like that, but
no, not at all.
But and the another thing I wanted to bring up with that, in my initial thought, which got me angry about it, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. I think that how much it was politicized probably didn't help someone in her situation.
Yeah, being in front of the world,
right? And
basically,
seeing
paraded around
all her friends being paraded around the world in the face of the March for Lives, when she was a survivor of this, and she's someone who struggled obviously much more than some of these kids that were the face of it and who are out there trying to be politicized and, like you said, paraded around. She's struggling hard with this, right?
And she's not the only one.
I don't think her seeing her friends on the news every night, her seeing it politicized so much, hearing Parkland every night this and Parkland every night that, and I don't think that helped her. I'm not no psychologist here or anything like that. I have a psychology degree. If I had to guess, that's probably, if I'm someone who's struggling with that, like you said, if you're a war veteran who comes back and you're struggling with PTSD from the war,
you're not going to send them right back.
You're not going to watch the news every night, and you don't want to see stuff like that. You're not going to be playing violent video games. I'm sure she would have been best for her and kids in this situation to not have it so politicized. And that's where my anger comes from. When you first told me that, that's where my thought went.
You were,
and I was upset.
Your smoke was coming out of you.
And I hated, even before all this, that was my initial issue with politicizing children. And let's just be honest, they're children. Mm-hmm. A 17-year-old.
Most of them, they were under 18. Yeah.
They're children.
Yeah.
And it's not responsible for politicians to put them as the face of this, to push a political agenda. Whether you think it's a valid agenda or not, whether you think it's what's best, I don't think it's a responsible way to go about it. I can say I fully believe this is what's best, but if I put a child out in front of it and make them the face of it and just politicize a group of kids and then a year later one of them commits suicide.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
I'm gonna feel a little guilt there.
Yeah.
And not being. I hope this doesn't come wrong. I hope some of those people think back on what they did, and maybe there's a little guilt there for some of those people that were doing that. Like, just being honest, learn from that.
To learn from.
Yeah, and like you said, what you told me today earlier, when I first brought that up to you is, you know, when those news people are just, you know, forcing the camera right in their face, having them tell their story again, that's not right.
You're just reliving those situations over and over again.
Exactly. So if something like that happens to me, if I witness something just as bad as that, hopefully I do not, but, you know, if I have to retell this story tens and hundreds of times for, you know,
hear your fellow classmates telling it over
exactly,
and over again.
it's like, no, like, I don't want to talk about it because I'm trying to forget it, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, you know, it happened.
Well, there may be that balance too of trying. I mean, I understand you do need to talk it out, and
exactly,
but that's not
publicly. Exactly, you know what I mean? And like,
as
I'm not gonna
as a child. Again,
as a child,
you're a child. Let's be honest.
I'm not gonna, you know, talk in front of millions of people with someone who's just a news anchor. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I understand. You know, you need to get awareness. You need to get the story out. But come on. Like, of course, at the time, I wasn't thinking like that because I didn't really think of that stuff. I didn't expect any of this to happen, of, you know, someone taking their life because of that. But now that it's happened, it's out there. Like, I'm more aware of this stuff now. It's like, you brought up a great point. You can't be, you know, sticking cameras in people's faces like that, having them tell their story over and over again because it's going to stick with them and have their nightmares and stuff like that. I'm just trying to forget it. Yeah, I'll talk about it because I need to, you know, get off my chest and try to feel better, but not publicly in front of millions of people nationally.
You work through that on your own personally.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's just super sad, man.
I'm thinking of a small opposition.
Okay.
In a different situation. In a different situation, because for the way you described that, it made me think about victims of of sexual assault, and that they don't like to report those issues because they don't want to relive, and you know, they have to be asked 1,000 times from this officer. All right, okay, now I'm taking you serious. Let's go to a different officer to tell him. Okay, now tell this lawyer. Now tell the court. I think that's the only time you should do that, is if you need to report such a thing. Because I know what you're saying. It is tough to kind of go through that over again. But if it's in the pursuit for justice, I think that's something you should push yourself through. But as opposed to like these kids that just went through a traumatic experience, they're not getting justice out of it.
Yeah,
they're just being paraded around.
I like how you brought that up because I wasn't even thinking anything like that. But that's actually a really good point. But
in some situations they should,
of course,
maybe fight.
But that might not have been her decision too either to do that. Like,
exactly.
Yes.
Her decision may have been wanted to just kind of put it away and forget about it.
Yeah.
And like, well, I've never, like, I read the girl's name and she wasn't one of the ones that was being paraded around, but I can still understand if she's struggling with it, seeing her friends out there all the time. You know, it could be difficult. And I get what you're saying though, like, because it's gonna get politicized. Her death is gonna get politicized, and it's just gonna keep going, and it's just gonna be like a long cycle of just the same disgustingness. That's just
yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this story gets, because like I tried looking into it, I didn't see too much going on yet, but you know, it's the weekend, and the media's gonna come back firing with this. I'm sure next week.
Oh, I guarantee
see what happens.
I guarantee it. I want to see how they lube it back. Right. Lube back the massacre to America somehow. I don't like how other Americans have made this massacre in another country about us. I don't like that.
That's another thing. Yeah.
I don't like sure, like, we understand it might be jarring at first when he said I'd like to thank Trump and PewDiePie, and we're like, whoa, those are two American. Actually, PewDiePie isn't even American, but we're like, whoa, Trump is our president, and so we try to make the whole thing about us.
I wonder how many Americans know that PewDiePie's not American.
Hold on.
Is he?
Let me correct myself. I think he is New Zealand, blah, blah, whatever. He's Swedish.
New Zealander?
He's essentially
New
foreign.
Zealand and then Swedish. I don't know.
But I know he's initially foreign. I don't know if he lives in America now
because
of his fame, and I don't know if he could, the money he has, he could probably have like 10 houses everywhere. So I don't know if he is a legal citizen here, but initially he was a foreigner too. But I hate how many times they loop it back, and Americans are like, oh, this is why we have to. I'm like, it's not we at all. This has nothing to do with us.
That's their thing. Yeah.
Like, let's stop interjecting ourselves so much.
Right.
But we'll see how many
that's
times
that's a good point though. Like, this is gonna, I bet you, in a couple of weeks from now, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, if you talk about American gun violence, people are gonna confuse this with an American shooting. They're like, oh yeah, that shooting at the mosque. Like, oh yeah, all the
America has so many massacres.
Yeah, that one, that where the 50 guys got shot. Like, Americans are gonna think like that. Like you said, Americans are very self-involved. Everything revolves around us. So, I don't know. We'll see, man.
Hey, I'm getting kind of thirsty.
Oh yeah, transition.
Man, we're full of smooth transitions today, aren't we, boys?
You did good with it. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
So are we out of that? And there's anything left to say?
No, I'm straight.
Okay, you're straight.
I'm not homosexual. I'm heterosexual.
Not with this topic, so we can move on to the next one, and we'll see.
I'm straight.
So let's just we have something weird we're gonna try. We did a taste test a few episodes back where Riley helped us out with some stuff. We're gonna do another something kind of weird tonight again. We'll talk. I'm gonna ask Edward about it. You want to get the stuff, Riley?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna ask Edward and let Riley talk. So a while back ago, Edward told me about this disgusting drink that he likes to partake in.
That I've done since I was like 5.
That he's done since he was a little kid. And 5-year-olds do gross things, by the way. 5-year-olds eat gross things. So
ignored.
So you told me about that, and I was like, that's disgusting.
Okay.
I never want to hear or think about that ever again. But then, just a couple weeks ago, I'm just, browsing the web, looking at Twitter, and there's this new drink trend going on in the country. People are trying, and they're calling it either soda milk or milk soda.
I call it soda milk, and it's blasphemy to call it anything else because soda milk sounds so much better than Coke milk or whatever.
Does it sound better, or is it okay? So this is what I also want to ask you: is it primarily soda or primarily milk?
It's 50-50.
No. But okay, but when you drink it, so that determines what goes first. Because if it's soda milk, the milk the milk is the primary, and the soda is just adding to it.
And you could pour either one first.
Oh, it's not. So it is a straight 50-50.
It's your preference. You could put more soda than milk if you want.
The 3 things here for you. So
okay, so you guys are getting a little too kooky for me.
And we got some cookies for you to dip into your soda.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, keep it away from me. Let's get it out a little bit for us.
Oh man,
Riley, I'm gonna have you pour it for us a little bit away from some of the stuff here.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. See, I enjoy this thoroughly. This is possibly my favorite drink.
You're excited right now, huh?
Oh, dude, this is great. I don't have this very often because not often do I have.
No, yeah, I'm super scared right now.
So this is gonna be interesting.
So I'm a big milk drinker by itself.
I'm a big Coke drinker.
I used to be a soda drinker, not so much, but thinking about the mix, dude, I don't know, man. But we'll see.
I don't know, man.
So basically, all I've ever told people that are hesitant about this is that it's essentially like a root beer float melted. If the ice cream melted in root beer float, it's very much going to taste like that.
God, that's disgusting.
So you said even proportions, right?
Yeah.
50-50. So we've done in the Modern Entertainment Podcast in the past, we've given just little advice out there. Don't eat or drink certain things. Like, don't eat the Tide Pods. This would have been something I'd be like, just don't drink.
Don't. What's the stupid?
This would have been a PSA. Don't drink the soda milk.
Well, while we're continuing this, can you look up to see what people are calling it online? Because when I first
look that up.
You know what's weird? Does that ever happen to you guys all the time? Where you guys talk about stuff and then it like pops up on the internet?
What's that?
Where like you talk about stuff or like you learn about something and then it pops up on the internet?
Did you just think this into existence?
Maybe. From my point of view, it seems like I did.
Like the two of us talking about it, just like...
Yeah, and then it's like the internet or the man was listening and they're like, we got to make this a thing.
All right. Serious mode.
All right.
Hold
on, you're going to fill up the whole cup with milk and soda?
No, not the... I mean, if it's good, then yeah.
They're calling it milk Coke.
So...
That's
milk Coke.
Stupid. It's soda milk.
It's milk Coke.
I'm just nervous trying to get the right proportion now.
Let him... Okay, you said 50-50.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, I don't have a measuring cup.
50,
that's why I do half the cup and then half the cup.
Filthy 50 it.
All right.
What?
Filthy 50 it. What does that mean?
It just came out. Dude.
I think that should be good.
No,
hold on.
Whoa.
Do we need ice? Do you ice it?
Do you put ice in your milk?
So I think primarily
that's disgusting.
Milk. So this is primarily milk. So this is soda milk. You're right. It's soda milk. The soda comes first. It's describing the milk. So it's soda milk.
I'll take that, yeah.
So that means you could dip cookies in it.
Well, I'm about to fill up this whole cup.
Get it away.
What's that 2 Chainz song or whatever?
Oh,
put that drink in my cup or
no? I put a lot of milk in yours. Yeah.
It doesn't. It still looks.
So
like it looks like chocolate milk.
Yeah. So what's your color looking like? Let me see yours.
Do we need to mix it?
No. Let me see your color.
I don't think that's half and half. I mean, I don't know how much milk or soda you put
it looks like about the same color.
What should it look like? The color. You're the one who knows. You're the expert. You should
this is a fairly Let me get a mix going for you guys.
Get him the thing, dude. Riley, you're messing this up.
Y'all are messing up my vibe here.
So, let me ask you this question real quick. How would you describe this type of drink? Is this something you drink with your meal? Is this something you?
Is this more like a dessert drink?
Is it a dessert? You just have it for breakfast with like some, Would you pour soda milk in your cereal?
Hell no.
Okay, so what is this then?
Bro, that's a lot more soda than milk.
I'm gonna put more milk in there.
Whoa, dude, what are you're filling
We're gonna chug all this.
No, okay, so answering my question though, when do you drink this? Do you drink this with something? With your cookies?
Normally myself, I drink this by itself.
Like
if I see them in the fridge at the same time, I'm
in
like,
my dictionary, that's called a savage.
Dessert, let him figure it out, dude. No, you drink this, but is it like a dessert by itself at night? Like a nightcap,
like a midnight snack or something?
I'll be honest with you guys, this is whenever the hell I feel like it kind of drink. This is like, I just woke up and I'm like, I can have soda milk. Or like, it's like I'm at a friend's house and I'm like, they have soda and milk here. And I'm already like 4 beers in. I'm like, I haven't had soda milk since last month.
So if you're 4 beers in.
Or I'm 4 a.m. waking up, I'm like,
so this
I'm tired.
It's a 4 beers in drink?
I'll pass.
So it just mixes up in your stomach with the booze and just
see what they can't see is that sometimes you have like that froth right there. That's how you know it's a good mix. That have a good mix of soda.
So I did pretty good.
It has a creamy froth. Yeah.
Okay, what's mine look like?
Oh my god, dude.
Okay, that one's looking good.
Mine's not looking good.
That's the solid brownish white color.
Mine's not looking good. Huh?
So we dipping?
Maybe a little bit more soda for you there.
Are we dipping the chocolate chip cookies in there?
Yeah.
Afterwards, just try the drink first by itself. Let's try it by itself.
So this isn't a breakfast. This isn't a dessert. This isn't something you drink with. You drink it with a meal.
No.
Like if we were to Postmate some Panda right now.
No.
Would you be like noodles, soda milk, orange chicken, soda milk?
No, for the same reason that you have certain drinks for certain meals, this doesn't have a meal to go along with.
Okay, that's what I mean. Okay. So,
it doesn't.
Okay,
so it's a meal by itself.
This is this like a protein shake? You just kind of
that's right. You just pop it. Yeah. You pop it real quick.
Power it down. So it's like a meal replacement.
That's it.
Down the hatch.
I mean, I'm not officially legally saying that.
Legally?
I heard them say.
I'm not legally responsible for the soda milk diet if people gain a bunch of weight, right?
That's
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
so who's going first? Well, you've already tried it. Beto, are you gonna down the hatch?
You try it first and see.
I'll try it first.
Same time.
Same time?
Okay.
Same time.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Don't spill it. Okay.
I'm so scared.
Oh, yes.
That's so weird, man.
It tastes... I think mine has a little bit more soda.
Okay, that's
fine.
That's
cool. But it's not bad.
Uh-oh.
Let me try a touch more milk.
It's not good.
He's adding to...
Let's be honest. It's not good.
Okay, well, mine is... I might put it in the good range, but we'll even it out with some milk real quick.
No, I don't understand
What
this.
was that face?
It's got a weird aftertaste, dude.
No.
It's got a weird aftertaste. It really does.
This is great.
So you're digging this right now?
Yeah, dude. No.
We should have done this earlier. So
dude, that is a root beer float.
I'm telling
you,
it's
not. Maybe I'm missing.
I'm telling you,
I'm not having enough milk or soda or something.
You can mix it. I mix it all the time.
Sometimes
I'll realize that.
Do you taste soda in there?
I taste nothing.
The soda for me is the carbonation.
It's just super aftertaste.
So it just tastes like water.
I might need... No, it's not water. It's a super weird aftertaste. Like, really weird.
Like the carbonation, or...
The aftertaste is just really gross.
I think it's mental for you right now.
No, it's not.
I think if I had to describe kind of what it tastes like... You should have gave this
to me and not know what it is,
I think it tastes like milk with, like, seltzer in it.
Okay.
That's kind of like if I had to describe...
No, I get that.
Yeah. I definitely taste the carbonation. It's a little bit mental for me because I'm like, milk with some carbonation.
You crushed that. Wow. Milk with carbonation.
But, I mean, I was scared. It's not bad.
Hey, just looking at like the picture of this guy on Twitter, it looks like there should have been way more Coke on it.
It's definitely something I'm not going to be drinking every day, though.
I don't drink this every day.
I'll probably...
This is special occasions, dude. You don't mix soda and milk and drink every day, man. What is this, man?
Is this going to be a new tradition when we record?
No.
Pop out the soda milk, boys.
Nope.
Edward's coming.
You guys can do it all you want, but I don't see myself doing this much.
I don't do this as much primarily because I don't drink soda that much as I used to. When I drink a lot of soda, and I drink milk like it's water, dude. I have like
Oh, yeah, I
5
do
glasses
too.
of milk a
I
day,
do too.
at least.
I went through 2
A
half
day?
gallons a day, or in 3 days.
Oh, it's easy.
1 gallon in 3 days.
Easy.
2.5 gallons in 3 days. Not a gallon.
2 half gallons equals 1 gallon, so 1 gallon in 3 days.
When
That's
I lived
why
with my
you're a
old
guy.
roommate,
A
he
third of a
also
gallon
did
a
that.
day.
My last roommate also drank milk like a beast, and so we would have like finished a gallon a day almost.
It's like when I start burping, I wonder if it's just gonna like smell like milk. You know
It's
what I mean?
gonna come out gross.
You
man.
feel the
Yeah.
milk, but
It's gonna
it
come out
smells like
gross.
soda.
It's gonna come out
I
gross.
think what might make this, for me at least, with my taste buds, I think you got to go a little bit more in the milk proportion. I think you got to go
Maybe cream it out a bit more.
because if it goes half and half, I'm not a big fan of that carbonation with the milk, like the milk seltzer, the Milka seltzer. You know what I mean?
That would have been a good name for this thing too. Milk
Yeah.
seltzer, yeah.
Hey, we're on to something. No, but I think 2/3 milk, 1/3 soda.
Sure. I'm good with a solid straight 50.
So the next time we are sitting at this table, we're gonna try that.
yeah,
We're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna keep this
Alright.
in the fridge.
All right, I'm gonna top off real quick because I gotta dip these cookies in it, which is
Oh,
also.
we're
weird.
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Which is
You
also
want to
weird.
just take mine and pour me a glass of milk?
So have you ever dipped a cookie in this?
No, I've never paired
Okay.
this with literally anything.
So I'll wait for you.
All right.
Here's your soda milking it up again, huh?
Are you gonna dip a cookie in the soda?
I just want some milk, man.
Here, I just put milk in this.
Okay, you want to take this
I'll
for
swap
me?
you.
Swap it out. There we go. Because milk and cookies sounds pretty good right now. After
Since
that,
you're an old man stuck in the past, you can't get with the times.
these millennials, dude. This was what I get for recording with a couple millennials, dude. They do some weird,
Cheers, man.
weird
Oh, you
stuff.
don't have a cookie.
Oh, sorry.
Weird stuff.
Cheers,
I got
man.
some Oreos over there too. You know, before they the liberals try to take them from us and ban them.
Try to get ban
They're
Oreos.
gonna do that. Who knows? So we had some other things we were talking about. So
Wow.
don't get out of here. No, it's not. It's nothing. It's nothing special.
I like that.
Dip it in your Coke. You guys are weird.
I like that.
So how's The Bachelor, man?
Oh, we're talking about the Bachelor? Okay. Oh, okay. So the reason we're all sitting down here is we were going to watch The Bachelor together, but Riley bailed on us like usual during the finale.
Had a night class. My bad.
I told you to skip it. So, Edward, this was your first experience watching The Bachelor. What'd you think?
Yeah, kind of a similar setup to the sports thing. Albert watches sports all the time and The Bachelor. Mm-hmm. Riley watches sports less and Bachelor less, but still far more than me.
He's probably sports as much as I am, I think, though.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah. Just
I
different stuff.
love sports. Bachelor, I don't watch too often. I want to say I follow it, but
The Bachelor's my thing, dude, to be honest.
yeah. I follow it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the drama.
I've never watched The Bachelor
Dude,
until
the awkward situation is what I love about it. When there's just like the guy and the girl, they're sitting there and they don't know what to say and they say something stupid and it's the like what was the big line you said you love?
Say that again.
I'm what? I'm in love.
Oh,
I love you, but I'm not in love. What did you say? What's your favorite line from the show? I'm falling in love, but I'm not in love.
I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
In love with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that means. But so yeah, there's all that weird stuff, man. It's just awkward situations. I'm a fan of the awkward situation. Any show I can watch where there's other people in awkward situations that aren't me. It's gold.
You like doing that? I can't see
Dude,
that
the
that makes me
cringiness-
cringe,
Dude,
bro.
the
Oh
cringe
my
is
gosh.
great. The cringe
No,
is great.
honestly I can't stand it because it's like what am I gonna do in that situation? You know what I mean?
What did you like the cringe, Edward? he just wants to drink his soda milk and doesn't want to talk.
No, but
I can't do them together in the mouth. I can dip it, but that's about it.
being as big of
That's weird.
as a Bachelor fan as you are, what do you think of the finale, man? A little crazy.
Loved it. Colton, you're the man, dude.
What would you rank this season out of all the seasons? What would you rank it? Top 5, top 3, number 1?
The season kind of low. The season itself was whack 'cause I thought the girls they got were whack.
What about the finale?
Cassie and one other girl were like the only cool girls. It was clear from day one Cassie
She was a sweetheart.
Cassie was, dude.
Yeah.
Just, sweetheart, dude. Great. And you knew Colton loved her from the beginning. Girls were leaving the show because they knew they didn't have a chance. They were just like mid-show, like, hey, I'm going to go because
It's not worth the time.
Terrible.
I know who you're going to pick.
I'll try to be the Bachelorette next season.
Maybe, whatever. So, like, I really think they were, like, paying girls, like, hey, you can't leave. Like, we need a show, so stay. And they're like, he's going to pick Cassie. I mean, they were saying that off camera, so.
But she left. She left.
And he chased her, man. A true love story, man.
That's crazy.
This makes The Notebook look like a piece of crap. All right.
So the episode before the finale, the fence jumping episode, I didn't watch, but it's always you trend in and you see highlights of it. Dude jumped a fence and just went MIA.
He jumped it like a pro athlete.
Yeah. Well, he was a pro.
You know what's so funny? As he jumped the fence, they're like, open the gate. Is that necessary?
Former football player for the Oakland Raiders. Just the practice squad or something like that.
No Beto talk on the show. Dude, find a girl that you'll jump the fence for, man. That's all I'm saying. When you meet a girl or you're dating a girl and you're finally like, I jump a fence for you. That's when you know. That's when you know. All right?
Yeah, screw the whole...
So when you're out there and
screw the whole, I scraped my knee falling for you. I jumped a fence for you, God damn it. What more do you want?
I scraped my knee falling for you.
I scraped. That's a
Never
solid
heard that
one.
No.
You guys never heard that one?
That's no, but now it.
I scraped my knee falling in love with you.
Now every single girl on Tinder is going to
you.
hear that from me.
Oh, is that your new one? Not the Whole Foods?
That's a good solid. That's a good one.
No, but
Not the Whole Foods line no more?
Both.
Yeah. I scraped my knee falling
for you at Whole
Foods.
Do you want anything?
You want anything?
Yeah, something else.
Hey, yeah, okay.
So I have never seen The Bachelor, but I have watched a lot of shows like The Bachelor.
Like
a
what?
lot of like VH1 shows back when VH1 was popular. Like
he's not a millennial.
Well, before I don't know. I wasn't VH1 before all the like drama shows, Just Music.
It's around.
Probably just like MVT. But I started watching all the like Flavor of Love, I Love New York, Real Chance of Love, Rock of Love. I watched all of them. I Love Money.
Hate to say it, but
drinking soda milk and watching all those.
Hate
shows.
to say it, but I've never heard of any of those shows before.
Wow, man! Oh boy,
and you guys are very similar in age too. This is crazy.
It's literally like Bachelor, but fun. It's funner to watch.
Bachelor's not fun.
I watched the season finale with you, and I was like, there's no like weird like.
It's because
they don't have to like dangle from a zip line and try to grab like a cow on it. I'd like something weird like that.
No, but they have challenges and stuff during it's because you caught the final big moment, like
Yeah, just watch it when there's like 20 other girls there, or it'll get interesting. Yeah,
they're all fighting and there's alcohol involved, and all this good stuff. But yeah,
I did enjoy I didn't know any of these girls. I didn't know why he liked any of these girls, and I confused him for apparently a basketball player. So,
close.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
So
Blake Griffin. Said Blake Griffin.
Yeah, I said he looked like him. Yeah.
I was like, he doesn't need. I thought because for some reason I thought Bachelor was that one show. I don't know if this is how they did one season or if there's a separate show, but they basically do the Bachelor thing. But at the end, he reveals he's not a millionaire or something like that. So I thought The Bachelor was like that. I'm like, but he's I recognize his face because I thought it was the basketball guy. So I'm like, so of course he has money. Yeah. So I was basically waiting for that big reveal, but it never came. So I was just like, oh, they just like each other.
I don't think that's the thing, though. But anyway, so here's what I want to do. And I talked this briefly with you about this. I want to do another reality show revolved around Edward.
Okay.
And his dating life.
Christ.
All right?
I'm for it.
All right?
No.
What do you think? It's going to be Bachelor kind of ish.
Yeah.
But probably evolved around your phone.
Me on Tinder.
Yeah.
Just me.
North Carolina girl.
North Carolina. She can be on the show.
This is the whole. Yeah, we can message.
If you're watching,
dude,
hit our line.
Then they
North
do those
Carolina
little what do you
girl.
call those little interviews? The little where they just talk to them off on the side and they'll give a description of the girl underneath and I'll just say North Carolina girl.
That's a little tag.
Yeah.
Occupation.
Occupation. Yeah.
And then what? I don't know.
Some vague. I don't even know if she was a real person. She could have been a fake profile.
Babysitter.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Solid. Girl of my dreams. It's a tough job.
So yeah, I want to start that show with you. You down?
No. I'm not jumping the fence for anyone.
Oh.
You might.
I redact that statement if my future wife is watching this. Love you, babe.
Tell her.
Yeah, love you, babe.
So yeah, I think we should do that.
I don't have a wife. I don't think I ever will.
Never?
Really?
So here's a weird thing. I like romance and everything like that too. Random to jump to this. I don't like the idea of marriage because I think it's just I think it's a weird way to. I think it's just paper. You know.
Okay.
If you spend the rest of your life with someone that you love dearly, that's your partner, and you guys aren't married, does it make it less love? Do you love each other less because you guys haven't signed the papers?
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
And I don't like the idea of marriage because someone could steal your stuff, and you have to pay more taxes, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's a ceremony.
Oh, this can get pretty deep then if you want to go into that. I like the idea of it. I think it's not just about the piece of paper. I think it's about the commitment. It's the symbolism of it, what it represents. And the whole point of marriage, I think, too, is, like you said, is this that it's showing that commitment. And the whole reason why they have all these rules and laws, I think, is to make it a bigger deal to get into it, which makes it harder to get out of it. And it's supposed to be more about family and unity. And that's what the marriage is supposed to represent, I think. So and I can think that how, again, this is going deeper and way further maybe than we want to go, whatever you guys want to do. I think marriage, unity, family, sticking together is something that can really help our society. And I think the breakup of the family, and you can look into crime statistics and all this other stuff, a lot of it comes from broken homes, single families, and I think the marriage becoming like just this thing, this piece of paper, kind of like what you just said, and being viewed as like that and not seen as this sacred thing that we should respect and treat with, you know,
it's a big symbol.
Yeah. And I think that honestly, just being real, I think that's a big reason why our society is kind of the way it is.
I'm personally not going to dive deep into this, but I definitely see it from a biblical standpoint about not only the connection between the partners, but having that connection with the Lord. Like I said, I'm not going to dive deep. That's just how I stand.
Yeah.
I
mean, I kind of wanted to talk to you, like, because I know, like, obviously, like, again, how I feel about it spiritually and stuff like that is a thing too. But I kind of look at it just as from a society sense too. I would like to defend it from that standpoint as well.
Sure.
Like, what do you think about that when we say that?
So, if you're not the big fan of the idea of marriage, what about rings?
Neither one really seems. I don't like
because rings are a big symbol too.
I get what you're saying. I like that the idea of it is what you get. You know, because of course that's saying like, oh, you're my true love. This shall prove it because I can call you Mrs. White, or because I have a ring. You're that shows others around you that you are.
Why white? Why are we bringing color to this? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It just seems superficial because I've known people in my life that have spent 20 years together and they love each other. They have kids and they're just not married. And so the fact, and like I've had a friend at some point counsel me, and he was drunk. He's older than me. He's wiser, but he was just like, "Do you think I should marry your man?" And I'm like, I told him truthfully because that's when I came to this conclusion myself. I was like, I mean, you guys have been together for 20 years. Obviously, you guys love each other. You guys have raised a family together and everything. I don't understand. I'm not going to pry into his personal life, so I wasn't like, why haven't you guys gotten married? But it just proves you don't need that to be in love with someone and to start a life with someone. But I get the symbol of it. It's also like why I don't like the idea of true love is because it's good. And it's nice to think of and kind of to strive to, but I think that can also kind of corrupt people's images of reality. Because especially nowadays when divorce rates are so high, marriage isn't what it once was. People are just so easily. They have divorce parties now. It's crazy. So like people, just kind of like a bachelor party. People have parties out now. They're like, "Oh, you got divorced? Woo, let's
really."
Yeah, it's so.
Never seen it.
And it's because of things like that, and maybe I don't like it because of the reflection of the society around me. If we were in a country back in the 50s where it was such a holy thing, like an actual true meaningful marriage, then I would probably feel different. But like, oh yeah, I do like that.
I think, of course, I'm not going to speak for you. So I don't know any other way to put this, but I think the reason why you might think that is because of how easy it could be to get married nowadays. Like I said, I don't want to speak for you, but if you know what I'm trying to get at, of how easy it is, since it's so easy, it's like easy making that commitment. Does that make sense? I mean, like, you know, people you date in a relationship for like 6 months and they'll get married because they think they love each other.
Sure.
You know, it's not as much sacrifice as I guess it once used to be. Because like you said, marriage is not what it used to be.
Not at all.
Maybe just make drive-in marriages and just marriages at the courthouse, things like that. It's just getting so much easier. So it's like, you know, they're not making as much sacrifices. It's kind of hard to explain. Like I said, I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I mean, if you know what I'm trying to get at, I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think that's kind of diluted. Like, like I said, it kind of has corrupted that image.
Yeah.
Or, you know, kind of like, I'm trying to think of something, the way technology's done that for us. Like things we take for granted, you know? It used to be harder to get married, you know? So it used to be a big deal. But nowadays, like you said, there's literally a drive-through.
Because I feel like
marriage.
That's why divorce rates, I feel like, are so high. It's because, like, I've
so
been with this girl for 6
accessible
months.
now.
I love her. I want to marry her because I'm going to get her a ring. I think that's going to look cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, no.
And a lot of, like, media pushes the idea of true love and things like that onto not just women, but, like, guys, and saying, like, oh, if you really love her, you got to put a ring on it.
Well, and then there's a problem. Like, everything you guys said, I think it's true, and I get where you guys are coming from, but I think that's taken away from what marriage is meant to be. And again,
I agree.
Again, coming from like
and that's exactly what I'm saying.
biblical perspective from where it's been corrupted, and if you go down to what it is, and I hear you guys talking about, like, you even said, like, one true love, and we're gonna get married because of that. I think marriage isn't about love, and I really do believe that it's about a commitment. Like, it really is about that, because you can love multiple people. I really do believe that. I really do believe we're humans. We have desires. We make mistakes. But that's what the symbol is. And I think that's what the ring's for. That's what the marriage itself is for. It's not about love. It's about commitment. And when you do that, that's you showing your way of showing the commitment to that person. So if you do that, I think, and you treat it the way it's supposed to be treated, you're more likely to commit to that and commit to the family. And that's like, it's not about love. It's about commitment.
Sure.
And does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Like, and I hear people say, like, "Oh, I love you." Yeah. So let's get married.
I say
it's not.
I agree with you.
Just about love.
I say I love you to a lot of people.
Yeah. You want to get married to all of them?
No.
What?
Yeah. I don't want to get married to my sister. Like, come on now.
You're blowing my mind.
No, but even in that sense, like, I mean, how many people, like, you can say that you've dated, or like whatever, like, people would they have dated that they said they loved, and then they break up, however many, you know, whatever. I mean, just being in love with someone doesn't mean that you should get married to somebody, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, so I like the idea of marriage if it was, I mean, it's hard to get that idea back into people's minds. Like, I like you said, I don't know if it's because of experiences you had or people you know that have been married. And I think a lot of people see that, like, oh, I've seen people get married and divorced, married and divorced, married and divorced. So what does it even matter anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But I just don't, like, I'm not going to let that, I guess, kind of warp my idea of what it really is, just because I see people abusing it or mistreating it or maybe confused about what it really is. And getting that back, I don't even know how that would be even possible to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, society has just, from what they've turned it into. And
at the very least, I don't think that's a negative thing in of itself, because like just how I like that there's religion in the world, even though I myself am atheist. I think it helps people. I think that's like a goal for a relationship, to kind of say, like, this is something we should strive to get married. Like you said, we have to get a certain level of commitment. I don't think marriage itself means anything, but that doesn't mean I don't think people should get married. Like, I'm totally fine if they do that. If it works out and you guys are married for 60 years, amen, God bless. But me myself, and of course, if I find a girl I love, I'll get married to her. I'm just gonna tell her straight up, like, I don't care about marriage.
I feel like what you're trying to say is you don't care.
So what was it? You get down on a knee and be like, I don't care about this, but you want to marry?
No, I think what he's
whatever.
But anyway, whatever.
I think what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't really necessarily agree with the definition of it and what it, I guess it symbolizes in today's society. But of course, like you said, if you love somebody, you're gonna marry her. Of course, you said you're gonna marry her because that's just the definition that it is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But does that make sense?
Yeah. And I don't like that. I kind of have that. I wish marriage was like a special thing in my.
I think what I'm getting is that you just don't like the context of it, if that makes sense. The way people are throwing it around.
Yes. I mean, the same way just how back in the day it was so taboo to kiss a stranger, right? Now it's just whatever you make out in a bar. That's sure. Yeah, that's just Susan. That's her on Tuesdays, right? Yeah. Oh my God, Freddie made out with. Oh my God, that was crazy back then, right? But now it's even normal to just hook up with someone that you've just met.
But then you got to think about what is that a benefit for society or?
I don't know. I'm actually I'm a supporter of.
Just making out with random girls at the bar.
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
No, I'm all for people exploring their sexuality and everything, as long as they do it safely and responsibly.
Okay.
I don't want people going out there, getting diseases and getting people pregnant and things like that too. Right. But I'm okay with people exploring themselves and their sexuality.
Now, of course, elaborate on that because you just said hooking up with random people. Of course, you got to get to know that person first, right?
I mean, well, see, here's the thing. I know people that just hook up that they've met one night and then they hook up and then that's like a one-night stand.
I think all three of us know a person like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I don't see anything wrong with that as long as they're being safe about it and as long as they're being responsible. Right. I guess it's okay. And as long as the other, I don't know. I mean, I think it does cause problems in society, but people will do stupid things. I'm okay if they do that.
Did you get what I was hitting at?
I did. I was trying to ignore that. I tried to ignore that person.
Oh no.
Dude, there's just so much going on there. So it just feels like the reason why I would kind of like push back on that a little bit is because you're kind of like minimizing the responsibility that comes with that too. Sure. Like there's so much, and then we can go into abortion and just like you said, STDs. Like there's consequences of those actions could be pretty big, and if we just treat that all like, oh, whatever, I want to just go and do this. Like there's consequences to those things that I think you need to be ready to face if you're going to go do that. And I don't think a lot of people acting in that way really think about that, where the consequences of those actions could go.
I think vice versa.
And we've made it a little too easy to get out of those responsibilities. Are the consequences of those that we could just kind of, whatever,
I'm thinking of vice versa, the opposite direction. Back in the day when it used to be so stern and taboo to be talking about sexual stuff and hooking up with people and things like that. And that's caused the baby boomers to come home and say, people told us all our lives that we can't have sex. Well, and then now we're just going to have sex because screw them. Because they're going to rebel.
There's also a lot of
I have that mentality of the parent that says, if you're going to do it safely here at home so you can, be comfortable. I get you're 15, you're going to drink. I'd rather you drink here. It's kind of like I have that mentality of it's stupid. I think it possibly does damage and kind of corrupt what we value and how we see love and everything. But I mean, we're gonna like I said, because of the baby boomers and that whole generation, we're gonna rebel against the last generation.
Well, that generation was also going. That's when birth control and other things like that kind of revolutionized that whole. It made having sex for women, especially, a little.
Yeah, but because society tells you, hey, you can't do that, and then them as a generation will go, screw you, eventually. They may not for the first 10, 20 years, but eventually either them or their kids will go, well, screw you, we're going to do that anyway, right?
But that could come with a balance. Like, again, there's a different balance of, don't ever do this or talk about it or know about it, and we're not even going to discuss it, than educating and actually learning and discussing those things, and not saying, oh, I'm okay with you doing that in my house. There's also a responsibility that goes there. As a parent, I don't think it's okay to just be like, you shouldn't be doing this, but if you're going to, do it in my house.
Are the stricter parents the kids of stricter parents more likely to do all the kind of bad, stupidest stuff,
or the parents that are more free and loose? And whatever. I can give you examples of both in every direction, every which way.
But I asked that because it's a common belief, I guess you could say, that it's my parents have just let me do whatever I want. I'm a good kid. I don't do any of that stuff.
I don't see you hooking up with a person at a club at all.
Back to the biblical standpoint, I'm all about waiting stuff like that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna dive deep into it, but I'm saying, what do you guys think about that? It's talking about all, parentship and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It's all unique. Yeah, I don't think you could make it. You could
assumption?
Guess. Yeah, you can't really assume that because you could have been. Depending on your circumstances, you could have been the exact opposite because you grew up in a family that might be considered strict or, would teach you in this certain way.
So rather than just being strict or kind of just free to do whatever you want, do you think it's based off more of the ethics?
I think it is based off of ethics.
Definitely think so too.
Yeah, I think circumstance is a hell of
what do you mean? Explain
it
that.
makes a hell of a difference.
Like if you're raised in a Christian household where what's in the Bible, you live by the Bible. More like, oh, we're not really going to stress that enough. Just live how society's living. You're just going to follow the trends and follow what's popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends how you're raised,
how you're
the
raised,
people around you
the
are.
ethics you're raised with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the culture you're raised in.
Right.
That'll change
Wait.
things. Because if you
Wait, hold on.
you could have
I'm
two
still
families
trying
that are exactly the same as Riley's, right? That are like, I'm assuming your parents are super strict with the Bible. I don't know for sure.
Not at all, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just create
No,
your
yeah.
parents to be super religious, strict parents, right?
Okay.
And they could end up like Riley, where they follow that, or they can end up like someone else who is like, nah, screw that. It's all circumstance.
But
It's
no,
all
but
depends.
then again, that also just comes down to personal responsibility, and that's your decision. But that's not taking the responsibility off of the parents, though. And I think
No, definitely not. No.
Like thinking that way and just thinking like, oh, it's just society and they're going to do what they're going to do. Again, it's a big, broad overall, and I think it really is the destruction of the family, and it's all related to each other, and it can go all the way down to so many problems we have with our society. Like, I don't like this idea of like, well, they might do it, so let's just kind of let it go. Or like, if you really believe this is moral, this is what's best for my family, my kids, or even society in general, like, you teach that and you fight for it,
Because I feel like what you were saying earlier, if I feel like what you were saying when you said, they might do it, just let it be, But I feel like if you're really strict, even though you think they might do it, you're still gonna, push for, teaching them this, teaching them that. Make sure they don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? If you support
but there's not.
that.
It's just all about you got to do the right thing and then trust that you raised your kid the right way to do the things that you taught them. Right? I mean, that's just basically if parents. I mean, you can only do so much, obviously, but you have to, if you've done your job and hopefully your child.
There's nothing you can do after that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're not going to do your best and try and put your kid in the best situation possible.
Yeah.
Right? I think your responsibility as a parent is to give your child the best
to lead by example.
No, the best. Put your kid in the best opportunities to succeed and to keep them from harmful situations. I mean, growing up, and again, not super overprotective and not. But again, there's a balance of knowing what's out there and what to expect, and just completely just blanketing them away from everything.
Yeah.
And then of course when they come, 16 years old, 18 years old, when they get more free, I guess it's just on them now.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't. But again, that doesn't mean you're not a parent. So I do think you still parent
of course.
at 18.
Of course, but I mean, you're not monitoring them 24/7 like you used to. You know what I mean?
If they're in your house, you're gonna monitor.
Well, of course, but like I said, when you become more free, when you start going away, moving out, and stuff like that, that's where, like you said, you gotta trust that they make the right decisions.
I mean, that's hard to say though. Like what you're saying, because it's up to you as a parent to find that middle ground of, are you too strict, or are you going to blanket them away from everything? Because again, it's hard to assume because there's so many examples that contradict each other all the time.
Sure, yeah.
That
like turn your location on.
Yeah. And there's I'm thinking of like, we have to find that middle ground as a parent to be strict, but not too strict, right?
Not too overprotective, yeah.
Yeah. Because you could cause damage by like, if you don't, I'm not saying every parent should, it depends on your parent, depends on whatever you think is best for your kid and what you think you can do to help them. If you as a parent say, I don't want you to drink, but I know you're going to, because realistically kids will go out and find a way to drink. I'd rather show them how to do it responsibly and tell them not, like try to have a firm, like if you try to keep them open to it, that could help
keep them open to it, or
like,
teach them.
He's not gonna like, hey son, come over here, I'm teach you how to take a shot. Woo. But he's gonna teach them how to be responsible. Tell them like, hey,
I see what you're saying.
No, I see what you're saying.
It's hard because it's hard to find the middle ground.
There's a difference between condoning the behavior because you're gonna do it, and then teaching them the consequences of those actions.
But then also like, what if you don't teach your kid how to be responsible, or like how to drink responsibly, and then they get alcohol poisoning
I think you can
drunk drive.
Educate someone on the responsibility of it without condoning the behavior and saying, I know you're going to do it, so it's okay to go do it. Does that make sense?
I'm not going to say this on purpose. I promise. Do you think it's important for them to see both sides?
I hate you.
No, I'm serious.
For who to see both sides? What do you mean?
Like
the kid?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like what Edward said, you're going to show them how to do it responsibly. also.
I'm not going to show them how to do it responsibly.
Show them, but like
if there's something that I think is wrong to do, I don't think I'm going to be like, there's a responsible way to do the wrong thing.
But what if you're pushing them away because you say it's wrong to do, knowing that they might still do it?
Well, but that's parenting. That's just kids in general. There's always the possibility of kids doing things, but I think kids need rules. Kids need boundaries, even teenagers. I mean, but then it goes to the thing, like you can. Like, so I'm not going to say, like, here's how to drink responsibly. Let's go drink and test things together. And I'm going to show you how it's done. This is how you drink responsibly. Other than, like, if you don't drink in responsibility, this is how you're going to get in trouble. If you get in a car, this is the consequences of over drinking, alcohol poisoning, being hangovers, I mean, you can learn about those things without actually condoning it and telling them how to do it, Again, like, when it comes to sex, I'm not going to be like, here's a condom. This is what you need to go do. When you do it, here you go. I'm going to be like, listen, dude. I mean, again, this is not, I've never thought about how to parent it, but like I was saying, there's a way to teach kid the consequences of sex without saying, here's a condom, go have sex.
I guess when I said that, I didn't actually mean like physically showing them.
No. But allowing it,
explaining
in your
it
house,
in depth, of course. Yeah. Explaining, like I said, both sides. This is what happens when you do. Also, you gotta teach them. I mean, why do you think we take sex ed class in like middle school? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like why do you think they have that? Because just like what Edward's saying, it's possible.
Oh, it is possible. But again, there's a difference between educating and condoning it, or showing them the right way to do it.
Like, yeah.
I mean, we're three guys without kids talking about parenting. This is kind of weird. But I'm saying, like, I can't imagine ever telling my kid, like, I don't want you to drink when you're 15, but if you do, this is how you do it, or like I can't imagine that's the right way to go about doing it.
And like I said,
I mean, I know parents that have done that.
Yeah.
And it's worked out fine. But I really do think that it comes down to, like, this is what you believe. You got to, like, stick to it.
Like I said, I agree with your standpoint. I think what I was explaining was I was trying to make his standpoint more clear of what he was trying to what he was meaning. Because like I said, I see where he comes from. I definitely agree with your standpoint. If you're against something, you're pushing it. You know what I mean? You got to push for that. You're not even gonna create the idea for them to think that they're gonna do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. It just comes down, if you believe what you believe is right, you got to stick to that and not.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, maybe because I basically grew up learning about sex as I learned to speak. So sex has been kind of just so involved in my life that it's just second nature to me, right?
Right.
And talking to other people my age, older, younger, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying alcohol as a weird example, but the biggest thing is,
but that's the thing. I've known.
I've seen that too. That weirdly enough,
look,
I think that's why I said
invite your friends over and underage drink in my house. I'm like,
yeah,
no, like,
I wouldn't do that as a parent, but I get why they have that mentality, kind of, and it could be even worse.
Don't
than
go
that.
party.
Maybe they're like, hey, I want a bottle too.
yeah, I got the good stuff.
I don't know. I guess because first off, I don't even like kids. I don't even think I want kids.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I don't want kids. But if I were to be a parent, I'd be so afraid that my child would do something wrong or end up in a bad position because I didn't do something in my power to like explain something to them more or open up to them.
I feel it.
Or like, because even though I told them, I believe, I don't want my kids to drink underage, right? I know they probably will, but I'll probably tell them all the time. But if I notice he comes home drunk one time, I got to sit him down and talk about it. I got to say, hey, I don't want you to run away from home. Like, it depends if the kid's going to be super rebellious. There's a lot of factors that go into it. I would be so afraid that something wrong would happen with my kid because I didn't give them a safe space to, like, at least acknowledge that it happens and basically say, I would rather, I would be that parent. Like, if it happens, I'd be like, just do it here. If you're gonna go against what I say, at least do it here, not across town at the bar. I'm going to talk to you about sex and this and that, and I'm going to show you. I'll give my kid a condom. I don't feel like, please, I don't want you to get a girl pregnant.
I definitely see where you come from, because you want your kid to be aware of all of the situations that they can be put in.
Yeah, whether I want them to do that
or not. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I said I see where you're coming from, but like I said, I also agree with like
this guy.
What?
You see both sides.
That's good.
No.
That's good.
Hate to say it, but like I said, I see where you're coming from. You want your kid to be aware of all the circumstances, all the situations that will arise up sometime in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with your standpoint that, if I firmly believe that, I don't even want this to be in your mind, I'm not going to introduce it to him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's going to pop up.
Yeah,
it's going to pop up. But that's where you're training what's right, not necessarily introducing every scenario of what could possibly go wrong. I think if you if you raise kids to know what's right and to be responsible and to have character and to do those things, you don't need to introduce every single scenario to them.
Yeah.
They will know what's right and what's wrong, put in a situation, and hopefully they know from how you've raised them and the character and the just everything about them knows that this situation is wrong, and you have to. A lot of it is trust. You have to trust your kid in that situation as well to know. But and I think there is something that goes into oversaturating them with this negative stuff too as well. Like in any situation, like
because it can push them away and cause them to rebel.
But it can even cause curiosity into that.
Exactly.
Like I'm not going to sit down and tell my kid, here's every single sexual situation that you could be in when this happens. Or like when you're drinking this and you're drinking, like just teach a certain value into that kid. Hopefully they,
so
you have to trust.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to find the middle ground.
If you've done your job, again, this is me like, do your job good as a parent growing up. Don't never make a mistake. But that's obviously, and it also depends on the kid.
Yeah, I was about to say the biggest factor is whether your kid will actually listen to you if they're rebellious or not.
Right. Some kids. Listen, kid, you're going to sit in your room and you're not going anywhere. Being a little stricter on certain kids, it might be beneficial, giving certain kids a little more freedom and letting them. But if you trust that they're going to make their own decision, letting them.
No, my parents were super laid back. They let me just do what I wanted to do because they trusted me. And they've told me this straight up. Like, they trust me because they know that I know what's right and what's wrong. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that's where that trust factor comes in because
obviously, yeah.
They were not strict at all. They let me do whatever I want. You know what I mean?
If you had given them reasons not to, though, would they have come down hard on you?
Say that again?
I'm guessing you were a pretty responsible kid if they're giving you all these freedoms.
Of course.
If you had come home drunk one night at 15, would they have just been like, yeah, you can go out tomorrow, everything's fine?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were like that because you didn't give them reasons not to.
Yeah. No, I'd have a.
You can earn your freedoms.
No,
you can earn.
No, I've had that happen to me before. I'd have a bonfire at a friend's house and I come home smelling like smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Whoa!" It's like, no, it's a bonfire. I promise you. No, it's easy for me to say because from my personal experience, like I said, my parents have, and they told me straight up, they trust me. That's why they're, letting me do whatever I want because they have confidence in me and they know that I know what's good and bad. So
I think that helped me a lot growing up too. Yeah, of course, I still grew up and had friends that were in rebellious activities, but in a lot of those situations, I might go along with it for like a minute, and then I noticed something bad came up that my parents had warned me about, and of course, I could easily do it, and they'd never know, right?
Right.
But I think but you think back to that trust that they like, oh, my dad, set me aside and talked to me about this, or like, how would he feel if he saw me in this situation right now? And I'd be like, I can't do this,
right?
But
I think having that good balance, because I remember I have one parent that I feared would find out, and then there's another parent that I'm like, I don't want that parent disappointed in me. There's a little balance of both, right? And I remember feeling that, and I would have one parent tell me, don't make me tell the other one. And I'm like, no, I don't want, there's that kind of balance. I think that for me was kind of good. I didn't want my mom to find out certain things. I didn't want my dad to find out certain things. And if one was disappointed in me, it was heartbreaking. If one yelled at me, I'm mad. I'm like, oh, dang it, they're just yelling at me. It was kind of, you find that, but
I like it.
How do we get into all that?
I don't know.
I was just thinking that was a pretty deep deep dive into.
I just remember saying
three guys with no parents or no kids and
went from The Bachelor to
no signs of having kids anytime soon.
I legit said like 4 or 5 times I'm not going to dive deep, but we dove deep anyway.
Deeper.
Yeah,
dove deep into that soda milk.
Oh, that's why it loosened us up a little bit.
Ooh, hey.
You see, the secret trick is
listen, kids,
carbonation in
don't
milk.
drink soda milk. Don't do it.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's really good.
I underestimated it. It's actually not horrible.
If you're gonna do it safely.
It's great
In your home.
if you're gonna experiment with soda milk,
Don't drink soda milk and drive.
Don't do it. And have cookies.
I'm curious to see what other sodas taste like, though.
I was telling him
go get the code red.
Oh,
make him taste
crap.
it. I told him get the code red.
Yeah.
There's code red in there. Yeah,
You're
get
serious
it.
right now?
I'm serious. You're gonna try the code red
This is
Code Red with what?
revolting.
with the milk.
That's revolting.
With milk?
Yes, he's gonna do it.
I don't even like Code Red by itself.
With milk, you might like it.
Oh my god,
You're
this is gonna
trying-
taste
I'm
like
not-
cherry.
Oh yes. Now you know what I feel like. If I had to try this, you got to try that.
Oh no,
This is gonna be.
It's unopened. It's gonna be all
fantastic.
fizzy. Oh god,
Yes, this is happening.
he's so happy he got payback on
so
me.
Happy. Here you go, man.
Oh, this is
Here, how much milk do you want?
disgusting. I'll tell you when.
Code Red with milk.
Hey, Riley, gonna try it too?
No. I'll pass.
Hard pass on this one.
That's a hard pass.
I don't even like normal. I mean, it's not bad. I just don't like the
Code is
flavor.
fantastic. Dude.
No, but what I actually may do, I might try root beer with milk.
I don't have root beer.
I know, but on my own.
It looks like strawberry Nesquik.
Dude, strawberry milk.
That's good.
looks like
Strawberry milk is good.
I kind of want to try it when you're done.
It's not gonna taste like that.
Strawberry milk is seltzer.
I promise you, it's not gonna taste like
Do you need
that.
to mix it up? Use your finger.
Probably.
No, don't use your
No.
finger.
Mix it up with your finger.
No.
Would give a little stir, just a little
Spills
James
over.
Bond.
Shaken, not stirred. Oh, he loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it. Strawberry milk?
I think it was a bit too much milk. I just taste a lot
Strawberry
of milk. It's really bad.
Is it strawberry milk?
It's really bad. I wouldn't recommend this.
Oh,
It's
but you
a
recommend
similar taste, but it's the Code Red that I don't like.
Okay,
is prominent.
I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna taste
Oh yeah. Wait, let me put some more.
it. Well, then you're gonna have to try it with more Code Red too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you guys do your thing. I'll pass.
You're trying it, Riley.
No, I'm
You're
not.
part of this.
There you go.
Yeah, especially if you put your finger in there. I'm not trying it out.
You sure?
No.
You can't wait. Can't wait to taste the third flavor.
That is disgusting.
all right.
That is gross.
The dude just took his finger in there. You're gonna. Oh.
Dude, the Code Red.
I'm not that big of a germaphobe.
Oh,
Code Red.
I'm a big one.
Dude, it takes the germs away, the Code Red. Trust
Can't
me.
do it.
Is that strong?
Yes, Code Red is that strong, man.
Can't do it.
It purifies it.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll say this. The only reason I don't like that is because I don't like the flavor of Code Red.
No,
not
that's
because of
gross.
the mixture of
It's
the two.
everything's wrong with that.
If I liked Code Red, I think I might like that. But I don't like Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
That was gross.
We're not doing that again.
That was gross. I can't believe we did that.
So, don't do the thing. One more quick question for you, Riley.
For myself.
When you eat string cheese, how do you eat it?
God, Jesus.
It's not that tough question.
Well,
I know someone that swallows them whole.
The whole thing?
Because they're like that big and they just go and just swallow
honestly,
it.
They're like
That's weird.
big.
I eat them both ways.
You swallow them too?
Sometimes I'll peel it. Big peels though. I don't do like the super small, like skinny, thin peels.
Gotcha.
I'll do thicker peels. Sometimes I'll just bite it. Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
And that's why it looked like it was a complicated question for me, because I was trying to think if it was more of the situation or more of the mood, or just what it was, or just if I'm,
It's situation for me. If I'm at work, I'm gonna take bites out of it, get it done real quick.
yeah,
If I'm like sitting on my couch watching a game, I'm peeling that thing away, dude.
yeah.
Take my time with it.
Reason why I don't like peeling it
Gently.
is because I like cheese, so I don't like small tastes of it.
Oh man, you gotta let it last, man.
But that's why they
why.
come in such big packages, though. You just down
Get a
them.
bunch of them, yeah. That's how you
Yeah.
take your time. String at a time.
Can't do it. If I have a lot of them, I'm just gonna start going down the
If
hatch.
you have a block of cheese, how do you eat it?
Ugh.
Do you just take bites out of the
Disgusting.
block, or do you cut little pieces?
I get the little cheese cutter. What do you call it? The cheese cutter.
Grater?
What do you call it? No.
The slicer.
Yeah.
There's a cheese slicer specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Am I just that ignorant in life? I'm thinking of the grater.
You don't just eat cheese?
No.
Like
This
blocks of
thing.
cheese?
You're
No.
talking this thing.
Yeah. It's
The cheese slicer.
The slicer. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Oh, we just have a bunch of those instead of knives in England.
That's literally fat. That's just fat. When people eat that, they're just eating fat.
Yeah. Cheese is great, though. How do you eat your string cheese, Edward?
I don't eat cold cheese.
One of my roommates hates cheese.
You don't eat cheese?
I don't like cold cheese.
Oh, this
I
guy.
love pizza. I like warmed up cheese. I like a little bit of Parmesan on my spaghetti. That's about as cold. That's the only extent because it's like little
You don't just
cheese.
put cheese on your spaghetti?
No, that's disgusting.
What type of cheese do you put
Do
in
you
your
put
spaghetti?
cheeseburger? Like cheeseburgers?
Sure, but that's melted. That's melted cheese.
That's
I don't
true.
mind melted cheese.
On sandwiches? When you go to Subway, do you get
Yeah,
cheese on your
yeah, and
sandwich?
it's like a little
not
slice. It's
melted.
not. I'm not getting like a bunch, like a big
Oh,
cheese
you double-
wheel.
you double the cheese
When
up.
people just get like, man, no. I'm like, if you put a little bit of cheese, just a single bloop.
I hate cheese.
I would love to say I'm a pretty cheesy person.
Oh, dude, it's all about
I would
cheese.
second that. You're the cheesiest person I know.
Go back and listen to the rest of the podcast. Yes, you are cheesy. One more question. Popcorn. How do you eat your popcorn?
He was.
What's your favorite way to eat popcorn? Like your favorite. If I said you can have any kind of popcorn right now, I'll give you
Like just going hard on the butter or
just like ideally you're perfect. Like what would you do with popcorn?
soak that junk in butter?
Soak it,
Sure.
Go hard on the butter.
right?
Sure.
Dude, if I'm at the movie theater, which is a rare occurrence, I don't go to the movies that often. Get the biggest goddamn popcorn bucket you can
He
get,
got so into that.
No,
You
yeah.
get
That
super-
big old bucket.
and just freaking head over to that butter machine, hold that button for like
Amen.
2.5 minutes, and just swirl it. You want to see a video?
No. Here's the
You
thing. No.
hold on, I'm sorry.
No. This is what you do. You tell them to fill it up halfways. You go put the butter, then you take it back, and they fill it up, and then you go get more butter.
Oh,
so it's
here-
separated.
so
genius.
You know, and here's the thing. And if you don't do that, and they put the butter first, you get one of those little containers, right? And you're sharing the popcorn, and you take it off the top, and you take the separate section because if you look at you get a bucket, and you say you're with somebody, and someone gets a little container, and someone gets the bucket, you're like, you know what? You can have the bucket. Just give me some off the top, and I'll just take that. You're getting all the butteries part.
Look at this. So
Think about this stuff, dude.
at the beginning of 2018, I took my sister to the movies, and she told me to spell 2018 with butter, and I'm just going hard.
Hey, lower that.
He's
dude.
going pretty hard on it.
2018 with butter.
He's going pretty hard for the viewers. He's large popcorn,
Spelling 2018 in my popcorn bucket with butter.
Okay.
disgusting.
I'm
But I would also
drinking
do that
popcorn.
still. I like
Love
butter. And
You
butter.
salt.
said you just salt. You didn't say you like
No,
butter.
well, I mean, I assume every
But did I answer?
popcorn
was,
has butter.
Was that
you
what you
told
meant?
me. He said that he only likes salt on his.
Well, that's assuming all popcorn has butter on it, because I don't think you would have butter
But
dry.
here, let me ask you:
No,
Do you eat
that's
your?
not
Do
the-
you eat? So if you're at home, made homemade popcorn, do you eat the popcorn out of the bag or do you put it in a bowl?
out of the bag.
Out of the bag.
But here's the thing, I don't eat just regular
Okay
homemade
with either.
popcorn. I get kettle corn.
Love kettle corn.
I have some
Bro.
in there.
Riley,
Hey,
At
Chuck,
home,
hey,
I will not.
Chuck Chansey Park kettle corn.
Riley.
So, do you like almond nut butter with your with your popcorn?
I don't even know what that is.
No one does. No one knows what nut butter is, but they have an almond flavor.
There's
of
an
it.
almond nut butter. So,
What do you like? Almond butter
I don't
or
know.
peanut butter? I've tried almond butter. Supposedly it's more healthier. I
like
hated it.
butter.
I didn't know there was an almond butter.
Almond
That's
milk's
probably what it
gross.
is. It's probably just almond, and they just threw the word nut.
No,
in there.
almond butter. It's like peanut butter. I hate it. I like peanut butter.
Oh, no.
Weird.
Peanut
Creamy butter or creamy
Well,
peanut butter or nutty peanut butter.
Crunchy.
Half and half of both.
You're thinking of the word crunchy.
Crunchy.
Creamy.
Yeah.
Pulp or no pulp orange juice.
Light pulp.
Light pulp.
Oh, me in the middle. Okay.
I'm a big
I'm
no.
in the middle of both. You know what? You look at my cabinet. I have a creamy and a crunchy. I put a small layer of creamy and then a small layer of crunchy, and it's half and half because the crunchy's too crunchy.
Got it.
But
I'm
the creamy's not,
definitely a
not
creamy
enough
person.
texture. So you got to mix them both.
Yeah.
The
Anyways,
pulp. You don't want thick pulp.
no, I'm a no pulp guy.
You want
Amen.
a little bit of pulp, just that little bit of texture.
Anyways.
That's good. Just to let you know. It's
Anyways.
there. This guy doesn't. So I came to the lab with some like caramel flavored popcorn, and I was like, dude,
Today, right?
I'm gonna give some to Edward. This was yesterday. Well, I'm gonna give some to Edward, dude. I think he would really like this. Dude. We'll share some
Don't
popcorn.
try to-
And I'm like, dude, this is gonna be fun, dude. We're
Trying
just
to
gonna,
vilify me.
we're gonna share some popcorn, and like, he's gonna love it,
How on a scale of 1
An
to 10?
afternoon
How
snack,
scale of 1 to 10? How excited are you for tomorrow?
Not that excited. Let me finish. So I was gonna give some to him some, and I go. I go to give it to him, and he's just like, "Ugh, disgusting," and like just completely disgusted with my gesture of trying to give him some popcorn.
Didn't show him respect at all.
None of this. Like, dude. I just I'm
Did he even thank you for offering?
Ew, gross.
I said thank
Gross.
you anyway.
You said gross.
I didn't say thank you anyway. I was like, you better get that out of my face.
Where's the plain salt popcorn?
Riley, let me ask you. You're a religious man. You've read some of the Bible. I'm sure you've read the scripture that says, "Thou shalt not put anything else other than butter and salt on popcorn. It is a sin otherwise."
I'm sure it doesn't say that.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
in.
sure it says that.
But it does talk about.
That's in Fake News, chapter 5, verse 12.
It's right next to the verse about this.
When people started putting, I've gone to people that put like Tapatio on their thing. They put hot sauce. They put M&Ms. They put caramel. They put everything on there. It's disgusting.
You can get the little thing of cheese, nacho cheese.
Cheese on the... Oh,
dude.
Hey.
It's a pain in the butt, but you get the little thing of cheese, and you pull out one popcorn at a time and dip it in the cheese.
That's
what
revolting.
Type of cheese do you call it's not yours?
Dude, whatever. This guy.
Oregano.
I'm not even going to give...
Oregano.
I'm not even going to look at you.
Is that cheese? Is that a cheese? Oregano, is that cheese?
It's actually
spice,
nacho cheese.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that one coming. Wow.
I'm editing that out. I'm so disgusted. We just end the podcast right now. I'm going to stop before that.
What episode is this, by the way?
I don't know, man.
That'll be my last thing I'll say is that it's a sin to put anything else other than butter and salt and popcorn.
Well, I could say the same thing. It's a sin putting soda and milk.
That is way more of a sin.
But I've proved you wrong, though. I've tried kettle corn, and it's still a sin. Mm-hmm. It's still in the Bible. It still says thou shalt not.
Time out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had kettle corn one night here.
Yeah, and I was like, ugh.
You were digging it.
No, well then definitely wasn't me then, because I hate kettle corn.
We were eating popcorn here one night.
When have we ever eaten anything other than Panda?
Was that during the 3 hour?
No, because we didn't eat anything during that.
It was the night we were working on the show.
I didn't have popcorn.
We had popcorn. I made us popcorn, dude.
You probably had your own popcorn.
Every time I try and give you popcorn, dude, you either like disgusted by it or now you're forgetting it. We had this moment where we're eating popcorn together. You're forgetting this.
You want so badly to create a moment.
Dude, we were sitting here,
popcorn,
and you were writing. You were being very creative. You're doing your thing. I was like, Edward, if I made some popcorn, do you want some popcorn?
And I was like, if it's normal, yeah.
No, you were like, yeah, dude. I made it. It was popping. We put it out here.
I do remember. And then you offered me, and I was like, is this kettle corn? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, and I started choking.
No, because I would have remembered that.
Oh, well, I guess you forgot about me.
I'm a big kettle corn guy.
You guys are crazy.
Love it.
Shout out to my Mexican friends that put on Tapatio and hot sauce on it because it's weird.
Dude, what about the corn?
It was the first time I saw corn
with all the stuff on it.
I really thought you were about to say you put corn on popcorn.
No, like the sticks of corn, and then they put like the sauce and the corn on the cob, and then like the butter and the Parmesan cheese and all the spice, the sauce on. Dude, that's so bomb.
What is that guy called?
That's the most Mexican I ever am when I'm eating that.
No.
Yeah, I put like the mayo on it. Mayo's gross.
A little bit of mayo, butter, and Parmesan cheese, and a little spicy sauce on it.
Never had it.
Disgusting.
Never had it.
Disgusting.
That's Mexican, dude.
I'm trying to think of the name. It'll pop up. I'll be like 2 a.m. and I'll be like, oh, it's the...
Don't text me.
Elote. Nope. Elote? Elote, man?
I don't know.
I'm Caucasian, man.
So am I. If you don't... I think I call him the elote man. So I'm pretty sure it's elote.
Oh, the guy that comes around with the bell and the thing
and
does all that
he
stuff.
has like the corn on the cob.
Yeah.
What's your pet peeves?
Pet peeve?
Mm-hmm. What's your guys' biggest pet peeves?
Just in general or in a certain area?
In general.
Pet peeve.
I'll tell you mine real quick. My biggest pet peeve. So like, small ones, I'm sure we can all agree when people chew loudly with their mouth open. I feel like that's universal, right?
Oh, of course.
But the one that gets me like mad.
That's what it is.
The one that gets me like actually mad is when people snap at me to get my attention. I can't stand. I actually get angry. I'm not an angry person, or I won't get like ooh, but like I'll go up to him like, excuse me, don't ever do that again because that's very disrespectful. And get like old white mom on them,
It's hard. That would definitely be a pet peeve for me, but it doesn't happen. That does not happen often to me. So
yeah,
it's happened like 3 or 4 times to me in my life.
Really,
but the few times it has gotten me mad. And it's been like managers in my store, and I'm like, listen, you can tell me what to do, but don't snap at me.
Yeah.
What's
your pet peeve?
I'm I have newly roommates. I have my roommates.
Roommate pet peeves. Here we go,
bro. I can go all day.
I would share some, but I think I need to wait for Beach for some of mine.
My roommates moved into my house about almost 2 months ago now, and it's going good. But Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The littlest things, dude.
They get
Give
you.
us one good story right now. A good story about
That has
Yeah.
created
Okay.
a pet peeve for you.
Yeah. Before we moved in, we were like, we're just hanging out, we're talking, like, oh, this is what we're gonna do when we move in, this and that. Like, okay, yeah, we're gonna set some ground rules, this and that. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. We're gonna rinse and wash our own dishes. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm down for that,
Woo.
But they don't rinse their goddamn freaking dishes, dude. So like, since it's my house, you know what I mean? I don't want my freaking sink loaded with dishes and pots and pans, every single day. I want to. I like my house to be clean.
Amen.
Those guys do not clean up after themselves. If you're watching, like, come on, dude. Like,
after watching,
seriously.
you're gonna
Riley's
I think I
roommates.
might. Like, this is like a low key, like, a subtweet at you guys.
Oh,
like,
no, he added them.
yeah.
Don't at me, bro.
Here's the thing, dude. Let me just tell you this. How long have you been living with these roommates?
About 2 months now.
If that's your biggest problem with your roommates is some dirty dishes,
Oh, man. You got more
bravo,
to come.
man. You got the best roommates in the world.
Dude.
I shared a couple stories with him the other day
Yeah.
about an awful roommate.
That was I had good roommates. That was probably
So-
my biggest issue, too.
Lucky if. Okay, I'll share one because this is one not involving B. So I'll share this with someone else. Which one should I tell?
Beej, if you're listening, you're off the hook, brother.
Which one should I share from the one? Do you remember which ones I told? I'll tell one. I'm not gonna tell them all because there's too many.
The Xbox one.
Okay, Xbox One. Okay, here we go. So I had an Xbox 360, right? Xbox
Oh, yeah,
Live.
yeah. I remember because I beat you on Halo 2 the other day.
That was another one. So this was back when we used to play Halo a lot, right?
The game I
I
beat
was
you at
gaming
a
it
couple
up.
weeks ago, right?
That game, exactly. So we were playing, right? And I would play all the time. I had an Xbox Live account, and my one of my roommates would share. Are you going back for the soda milk?
I was going to, but
You're
then you put it in water.
Dude. Hold on, I'm trying to tell a story here.
You can finish mine, man. I'm not going to be finishing
Here,
anytime
do you want a
soon.
new cup for that? Okay. I got you, dude. I'm using all my cups, dude.
I'm so rude.
Here, pour away from this stuff, though. Get over there. So I had Xbox. We shared Xbox Live accounts, right? So I had a roommate who would be up all night, right? He didn't have a job, so he would stay up in the middle of the night and just play all the time. He would play Tiger Woods golf.
Ooh.
He was like top 5 in the world.
Really?
Online Tiger Woods golf. Yeah. Amazing, right? So he got really good at this. That's a lot of golf. And he played so much that he got the Red Ring of Death on my Xbox, right?
Wow.
So he got the Red Ring of Death.
I was always scared of having that happen to me.
He played nonstop, and then I would wake up in the morning, and he's like asleep on the couch, and the system's still on. I wouldn't turn it off, so it's just on all night, right? So I would get mad at him, but anyways, I had to send it in because of the Red Ring, So it's gone for a couple weeks, and at this point, I'm not even missing it. I'm like, I just don't want him to play, right? So he would ask me all the time, hey, did you get the Xbox back? Hey, where's the Xbox at? I'm like, dude, I haven't got it yet. So one day, I got it back when he was gone. And so instead of putting it out, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to put this out because I don't want him to play right now because I'm not going to game anytime soon. I think I was like towards the end of the semester in school. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this summer when school's over, I'll put it out because I'm going to play it more. I put it up in my closet in the corner, dude. In the back corner of my closet, stuff in front of it, right? So he keeps asking me, hey, what are you doing? And then he just kind of stops asking me. So one day, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and put it out. I put it out, turn it on, I get on to play some Halo, and one of my buddies that I played Halo with is like, hey, dude, you're back. You're finally playing Halo again. I was like, yeah, I got my Xbox back. He's like, I saw you've been playing Tiger Woods. Why weren't you playing Halo no more?
Whoa.
I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, but that was a long time ago. He's like, no, dude, you were playing Tiger Woods like the other day. Like, why weren't you playing Halo with me? I was trying to get you to play Halo with me, but you were just playing Tiger Woods. I was like, dude, no. This is the first time I played it like in over a month. So I go and I check it, and it's all, one day ago, Tiger Woods golf. 2 days ago, Tiger Woods golf. Turned out this fool was going into my room, taking it out while I'm gone, hooking it up in the living room, playing it, and then putting it back up in my closet before I got home.
Wow.
He was doing this for like a week.
How do you know when you were going to get home? That's a
He
risky.
just knows, dude.
That's a risky move.
He has nothing else to do but play Tiger Woods
Did
golf.
you have like a certain schedule throughout your day? Did you come home at the same time?
He knew my class schedule and work schedule.
Yeah.
Like, if he knew I was going to be at work for the union, he knew when I was getting back from work.
Wow.
So, yeah. And he would just put it back up in the corner, put the stuff in front of it, and I had
So that's
no idea.
that's more than just one pet peeve at once, because not only is he playing it all day long, but he's going into your own room,
That,
dude.
yeah, and put it
Oh, yeah.
back.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Gosh, dude, yeah. So, if your roommates are some dirty dishes, dude.
Man.
And that's not even, dude, there's others that I don't even want to tell right now.
I felt bad.
Wow, I thought you were gonna go to where like he just bought a new one, but wow.
He like broke it and bought another freezer.
Yeah, I thought that's.
I think you forgot where I said he was unemployed.
It's true.
So
I always felt bad. I'm the roommate that I did dishes, but not every day. Because I'm not like a super clean freak, but I like things to be clean. But like I don't mind waiting on things. Like if the sink is full for like a day or two, that's fine. I'll clean it in a day or two.
2 days is not acceptable.
But that's fine, especially if it's unless it's built up max, then I'll do it on the spot. But like if it's just like 5 dishes to 10 dishes or something like that, I'll be like, I'll do it tomorrow. That's fine.
When I was living with my parents, like I said, I wasn't a clean freak. I like things to be clean. I never took initiative because I was like, oh, my mom's going to do this. You know what I mean? I hate to say it. But now now the house is like mine. Oh, I'm a big clean freak now. Because you know, if I want people over, I want to make sure this looks nice.
Amen.
So it's like, oh, my mom's not here anymore. So it's like, I'm going to take initiative and have to do it. And then like literally the first couple of weeks, I was doing everybody's dishes because like I couldn't stand just seeing it in a single dish in there for more than 24 hours. And I was like, I'm just over this. Like, these guys got to learn.
It needs to be
dude.
all paper plates and cups.
Amen.
Just utensils.
Yeah.
And like obviously like pots and pans and stuff.
No, here's the thing. Actually,
no dirty plates, no dirty cups.
So let me tell you what I did on my day off the other day. The sink, you know, it's a 2-side sink. You know, we got the drain and then like the other drain where like you can like trap stuff. You know, like all the food excess and stuff like that, so it doesn't go down the drain or it doesn't clog it, right?
Yeah.
They all loaded their dishes up at once because they had a big dinner one night, and the sink. Long story short, the sink got clogged, and there's just dirty water like a quarter of the way up, and all these pots and pans that were dirty and stuff. Dude, freaking cockroaches and bugs in the sink and stuff like that.
No, that's unacceptable.
No, yeah.
No.
So when I did that, so like I said, I cleaned everybody's stuff. I hate bugs. I put on some gloves and I had no choice. I had to scoop them up with my hand and take them out because they weren't going down that drain because you can't do anything on that side.
You put on
what
gloves for the bugs?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Even though they were dead, like I'm.
Oh my gosh, I have.
So here's what I did. So yeah, I cleaned up all their mess, dude. I legit went to Target, bought myself my own plate, dishes, and utensils.
Amen.
That I'm keeping in my room. I'm not sharing with anybody else.
That's right.
So you guys, the other 3 roommates, here are the dishes that were originally mine when my family was here. Keep them.
Yeah,
keep
Riley's
your cockroach infected dishes. You guys eat out of those.
Yeah.
I went to Target, spent $40 on.
Ooh, $40.
That's money he's not getting back.
5 small plates, 5 big plates, 5 small bowls, 5 big bowls, a 20-piece set, and then a 20-piece set with.
For $40.
That's a crazy receipt.
And then
memory.
A 20-piece set of 4 small spoons.
They're going to sneak into your room and use your dishes and then put them back.
Hey, honestly, I thought about that. So it's funny because the lock on my door.
You have a lock on your room?
The lock on my bedroom door is the same lock as the front screen door. So everybody has the key to my bedroom.
Why do you have a key in your bedroom? Do people do that?
I had that once when I was a kid.
I only did that because when they first moved in, we had a huge Super Bowl party.
So you added a lock for the Super Bowl party,
and I just decided to keep it.
You added a lock for the Super Bowl party?
Well, not for that because I already had a lock set. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna change that real quick. I was like, oh, I just decided to keep it. Privacy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If my door came with a lock, I'd definitely keep it. Yeah. I wouldn't purposely add it though.
I didn't.
That's a horrible way to live.
I didn't
specifically. Like you have to lock your door.
No, I don't lock my door all the time.
Well, now they all have the keys.
I know, so it's like no point. But I mean, I just lock it, just for the reasons like you said. I don't want people coming in my room, even though they have the keys. I know they're not going to do that, but it's still, you know what I mean.
That same guy literally didn't have a key to the front door and would leave the side door open and jump the fence and walk in through the side door every time.
God. But yeah, there's my rant for the day.
Dude, again, this is just a tease for the next time I ever record with Beige. I have an apartment story about, you mentioned the cockroaches. It's a different kind of insect flying animal thing that it's the most amazing story ever. Okay. And I will I'm going to tell it on the podcast whenever, but I can't tell without Beige.
Okay.
Because it definitely involves Beige. But a little teaser to the next time I record with Beige, it's going to be a great apartment story. That we've held out telling that we're going to tell.
From what I've been hearing, I don't think that's going to be anytime soon.
Oh, he called you out, Beige. Beige, where you at?
Got him.
Called you out, but that's the tease for. We've been waiting to tell this story, and I think it's time.
Okay.
We're gonna make moderately entertaining great again.
Yeah.
Right? What is
like
that?
it.
Mamega.
Mamega,
MMEGA.
M-mega.
And I think the best way to do that is like
That's where we're at.
the great apartment story of whatever year that was. Not
I like
hyping it up too much here, but it's good.
Well,
It's great.
I like
we'll
it.
see.
It's great.
We'll see.
All right. Bees, balls in your court, bud.
Balls in your court.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Balls in your court? The guy he doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. He doesn't know it.
What does that mean? I'm kidding. I know that.
I'm done.
Well, this is fun.
We're done. All right, this was good, you guys. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, I had fun. This is great.
Talked about some stuff I didn't expect to talk about.
Same.
Drink some disgusting drinks.
That whole love conversation was not expected.
Yeah,
That
not
was
expected.
not
at all.
expected.
Not expected at all.
We always kind of have like, oh,
And
do you guys think of my...
parenting? We talked about three single guys
Yeah, that was
with
cool.
with no kids and
Hey,
Smoothest transitions we've ever had.
hate to
Let me
pull a
tell
bees
you.
on ya. I have a quiz due at midnight.
Riley's just like, so parenting.
No, what?
So
No, the only transition
New
I did was like,
Zealand.
yeah. I was like, I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty, guys.
Smoothest transitions in the
That's
business.
the
Let me tell
worst.
you.
You got to work on that, Riley. We'll get you
Professional.
I thought it was
there, dude.
time.
If you want some moderately entertaining sports job, you're gonna have to work on your transitions.
Oh, I could talk about sports all day. By the way,
Work on your transitions.
all the games concluded for the first round. I did go 26-6.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Put that on your resume for the moderately entertaining sports. You know, when you submit it.
We have video proof.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
Solid.
you could submit your resume whenever you're ready for that. If you want to do that.
Here's my resume for it.
You failed.
Honestly, you did your resume by speaking of why you chose each team to win. That was good.
You will not be getting the
Solid.
moderately entertaining sports job, but there are other positions available if you want to apply.
Nice.
Gaming, movies, all that good stuff. So.
Nice. Look forward to it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so this is the end of this episode, and might be seeing more of these guys. Riley's already leaving. He's halfway out the door. If you need to
He's
go,
ready
man,
to go.
You're good. But yeah, we might be doing more of this. We might be doing more specifically geared things. Like
More
I said,
specific topics.
yeah, me and Riley may sit down and just get deep into some sports stuff. You've seen what me and Edward would talk about on the freaking 8-hour podcast we did a few months ago, a month ago.
That was like 2 months ago.
Whatever it was. So I want to do more stuff. We have these guys. We have the stuff. We're gonna do it. So
We have the power.
we have the power. Let's
We
use
have
it.
the money. We have the technology.
Use it.
I'm trying to
use
quote
it.
the billion
Use it or
dollar
lose
man.
it. So we're gonna use it.
That's right.
So yeah, I think we're good. Thanks guys
As
for
always.
coming in. Let's get rid of this stuff.
Let's chug. Who can chug the milk the fastest? How much?
Twilight at night, they tread swiftly and lightly.